Welcome into Razorback Live with the Sarge. I'm the Sarge. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday afternoon. I know Sarge is tired. We had an eventful night last night. I'll get into that a little bit later. Another Hogs loss yesterday. 2 days in a row of Hogs losses is no good. We need a victory like something fierce today. You need these boys to come out hitting the ball like they pissed off. Pitching like they got something to prove. So hopefully that's what we see. We got about 10 minutes or so to first pitch. If you guys weren't in here, I did have an emergency last night, but we finished out the stream just to make sure, that's my job. But it all ended up well, so like I said, we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, Mark, the girls won. It's almost something we can count on all the time here lately. So hopefully they keep it up. Proud of them girls over there playing softball. So forgive me if I sound a little tired. It's because I am tired. I've slept about 3 hours. I haven't ate anything since yesterday. So I'm tired, hungry, fat, mad because we lost yesterday. So it's not a good combination. But hopefully we will get to see a good ball game today. The weather's a lot nicer. It's gonna be warmer. It's gonna be a good day for baseball. So let's see who's in the house here. If I see Joe, Jeff doing the mod. No worries, Jeff. Daniel, I'll get into that here in a little bit. When more people get in, so I don't have to say it more than once. Mark says, I'm on board. Let's get this party started. Absolutely. The girls did win. My boy Blue. Excuse me. How you doing, brother? Hope everything's doing good. I'll let you know here in a minute, my boy. When we get started here. But everybody will know. We got 71 with us on YouTube right now. 26 likes. We've done good in the last 3 streams. We're over 100 before the first inning. Usually around 300 by the 5th inning. And we're getting close to 400 by the end of the game. 560 is the official likes record for a live stream. If that's something you guys want to try to go for, that's totally on you. We are getting close to our 4,000 subscriber mark, so we can't thank you guys enough for that. Richard, good afternoon. Absolutely, Hog's gonna win. Absolutely. Sean, yeah, it's good, Sean. We were scared. I'll get into more detail here in a little bit, but yeah, we're doing all right. Tired, hungry, but doing all right. I think one thing Sarge is going to do after this one is probably take a nap. Hi, Veronica. Hope you're having a great Saturday. My boy says, I'm going to the game tomorrow. Maybe you'll see me in the hog pen. Absolutely, man. Make sure you wave, do something, because I'll be looking for you. That's awesome, man. I hope you enjoy it. It's gonna be a nice day. That's me too, Sean. I was pretty stressed out for a little bit last night, but I need one of those. Uh, I'm hoping you guys got to keep me awake through this game. You got to help Sarge out. This is like I'm coming off 24-hour guard duty and have to pull an extra shift, which I've done many a times, but I was like a lot younger when I did it. Chairman, what's good, man? Appreciate you popping in. Oh, Veronica, no, it's my pleasure. Hope everything's going good and hope you're selling a bunch. Yeah, I got about 3.5 hours of sleep. I think I finally got to go to bed about 4:30 and was up uh, around 7:30, quarter to 8. It was not my intention, but it happens. I was planning on sleeping until like 10 or so, but that did not work out. Awesome, Veronica. I'm glad for you. We're getting there. 102 people in, 35 likes. Yeah, I hear you, man. I did. I used to do that too. NCOs would, especially on the weekends, because I didn't really care. Well, that's not true. I'd like to go out on the weekends when I was in the service, but if the money was right, I'd give up a Friday night or Saturday night to cover one of my buddies, NCO buddies, shifts on sitting on the desk because you know money talks and bullshit walks, right, John? Beehall, are you happy? You got your name under corporal, buddy. I appreciate that. You and Amanda both. Uh, that's a uh, that's pretty awesome, you guys. That's what I'm talking about, Sean. All right, three. Ooh, excuse me, guys. I apologize if you catch me yawning. I'm sorry. Um, but we got 3 minutes till first pitch. I do appreciate everybody that's spending their Saturday afternoon with us, whether you're working like Miss Veronica or you're chilling at home or you're just out and about listening to us. It all counts the same and it means a lot. This channel wouldn't be here without you guys. For all the members, I can't thank you guys enough too, because you chose to be a part of this channel, support this channel financially, which helps a lot. So you guys are all legends. I'll get you all up to date on what happened with the baby. Probably on the first commercial break when we get most of the regular people in here. Yeah, right, Sean. All right, we should be getting close. There you go, Bruce. That away. Michael, not a problem, man. I appreciate you guys being here. Rodney Williams, appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It'll pop up on the screen here shortly. But welcome to the SAR Squad. And here we go.
Stadium is the site of game
Ladies
2
and
of a
gentlemen,
weekend series. The
buckle
Arkansas
up.
Razorbacks and Florida Gators back at it after Florida claimed game 1 of the series to jump out to a good start. Now they're going to try and take down Hunter Dietz to win game 2. Let's bring you up to the booth. I'm Brett Dolan. He's Troy Eklund. Thanks for joining us. It felt like last night Florida got the lead early, and they were not going to give it away.
Well, they really did. 9 hits, 9 runs, and again, they scored 3 in the second, 1 in the third, and they just kept rolling. Added 5 more after that.
Take a
Starts
look
right
at what
now,
transpired
Michael.
in game 1. Again, 16 strikeouts for Florida pitchers. Bowen had a big homer. Helfrich had a 2-run homer late that looked like it might give Arkansas some juice, but the Gators were having nothing to do with that. Arkansas's pitching was part of the storyline, and for more, post-game, here was Dave Van Horn.
Yeah, it was one of the worst pitch games we've pitched here in a long time. You know, give Florida credit. They laid off some pitches and got some full counts, but we also had a lot of times we were up in the count 0-2, 1-2, nibble,
Sean,
nibble.
you don't have to worry about that, Sean.
3-2,
Just being here is help enough, brother.
Pitch counts got up and bases were full of Gators, and yeah, it was pretty.
Michael,
pretty
no, we had a little complications
Well, that
last
was
night.
a frustrated
and,
head hog, and Troy, 9
the
walks,
first commercial
just a
break,
big
I'll
storyline for Razorback
talk
pitchers.
about it a little bit.
Yeah, and 5 of those walks came around to score, so that was the backbreaker
Well,
for the
what we thought was
Arkansas
complications,
Razorbacks. And
anyway.
again, they struck out 16 times
Reese,
offensively.
good to
so
see you, buddy.
kudos to the Gator pitchers.
Well, Hunter Dietz will try and turn it around today on the mound, getting the starting assignment for the Hawks.
Well, Hunter Dietz is what Dave Van Horn
Mama
calls
Sarge
that's what
is in the
big league pitcher
building.
looks like. And again, he's got amazing stuff. He's going to sit the mid to upper 90s. Big time slider. He's starting to land the curveball as well, Brett, and mixes the changeup as well.
Lineup he will face for the Gators.
There's
Features
Rodney.
Jones, Lawson,
There you are,
and
buddy.
Zerwick, the top 3.
Again,
but last
appreciate
night,
you.
Troy, the 6 through 9 spots in the lineup did a lot of damage.
Well, they really did, and that really added an extra spark to that Gator lineup.
6 through 9 hitters were on base 12 times, scored 4 runs, knocked in 4 runs, and we're off and rolling on a 59-degree afternoon, and Kyle Jones steps in to face Dietz. See the numbers
I'm not
for
sure,
Jones on
Veronica.
the season, but
I think it's
against left-handers this
this
year, 2
afternoon,
for
too.
17,
Yeah, Reese,
3 for 24.
I'll let you
in
know at the
SEC
commercial break.
And we're 1 pitch in, and Ryder Helfrich has something wrong with maybe his earpiece. And
That did not take long, did
no,
it?
it sure did not. Ryder calls about 95 to 99% of his own game, but that device is there in case he wants to get some help from Matt Hobbs, and I think it's working. Our plate umpire, though, today in Game 2 is Richard Riley. Jeff
Good
Wright
job,
at first,
everybody. We're
James
almost
Millsap
we're over
at second,
halfway
Kevin
to
Sweeney
100
at
on
third.
before the first
Fans
inning.
were hooting and hollering last night with all those
So we're
walks.
getting
They
at,
were wondering if maybe it was a tight zone. It felt like, you know, reflecting technology-wise, it was fine. The pitchers were not. And but Troy, it was a cold night. Even as I
Appreciate
went
it,
to my
Michael.
car late last night, I'm like,
JK,
wow, it's even colder
good to see
outside
ya.
than I thought it was.
Yeah, it was not comfortable, and give the Gators credit. You know, being a Southern team, they really handled it really well.
There's a chopper toward short. Koschel gets the big bounce. He flips to first. That's Rutenbar over there.
Hey, they got Popeye playing
On
first
the receiving
today.
end, Arkansas has tinkered with their defense to try and provide some more offense. And today, Troy to get
Reese
Malloy
Robinette's
in
over
as
at
the
third.
DH. Rutenbar at first, Robinette at third.
Yeah, Koschel almost threw a helium ball over, like
Sure
a
did.
palm ball to first base. It almost didn't get there.
Reese, that's awesome.
One gone for Brendan Lawson. Lawson was on base 3 times yesterday, but he didn't get a hit. He does now as he rips one into center against Dietz. Then the Gators are off and rolling at the top of the first.
Brett, I'm a big fan of the first pitch strike swinging, and Lawson didn't take any time, waste any time right
hopefully
there.
better than
Just got a
yesterday,
pitch right
Rich.
down the heart and ripped it right back through the box.
Gators team that had 9 runs on 9 hits yesterday. One of the big swings was from Ethan Surowick. He had a homer in the 3rd inning to make it 4-0 Florida. Later on, Carson Bowen would add a 2-run shot in the 7th. And again, the Gators did not trail the entire 9th. So they improved to 4-3. Arkansas dropped to 4-3 in league play. Good scoop by Helfrich on the pitch to Surowick.
Just feels like there's going to be a lot of teams in the SEC really bunched up in the middle.
I would tend to agree, and I think that's why finding ways to win series may be even more important than it's ever been, if that makes sense. We talk about winning 2 out of 3, but when there's not a lot of separation in some really good teams, you might see a jumbled conference race.
Brendan Lawson over at first base is 8 of 10 on stolen base attempts for the season.
That pitch gets away from Helfrich. He can just trot to second on the wild pitch.
Yeah, Arkansas pitching really just shooting themselves in the foot so far in this series.
Dietz will deliver, and that one spanked foul down the line in right. Dietz is coming off, matching a career high with 12 strikeouts in his last start a Saturday ago at South Carolina over 6 2/3 innings. Here's your conference standings. Again, Texas has taken a couple of games already from Oklahoma in front of Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Georgia. Ground ball to the left side, fielded by Robinette. He maybe had a play to second, but he'll take the sure out at first. And again, for somebody who's played a lot of time at first base, you like to get that first play out of the way.
It's a really good play by Robinette, ranging to his left, and it's a chopper that looked like it might have gotten through that hole. And
I thought so
you
too.
could see right there, I think it was going to be really close at second base. I think that's a smart play by Robinette. Just get the sure out.
2 gone for Carson Bowen. He takes pitch a little bit out. 95 from Dietz. Again, 12 strikeouts for Dietz last weekend at South Carolina. Pitched well against the Gamecocks. Arkansas had to come back to win that game in extras. Of course, yesterday we saw Liam Peterson start. They were both in the same Calvary Christian High School rotation that had another guy named Landon Marudas, who was a 4th-round pick of the Blue Jays, and they won the state championship that year. So Dietz got to watch Peterson yesterday, and Peterson watching his former high school teammate Dietz throw this afternoon. But he's behind Carson Bowen. The 2-0 pitch fouled back to the screen.
Really good location right there by Dietz, and not giving in and just really filling up that outside corner. Got a dangerous hitter in Carson Bowen.
Here's the 2-1. That's rocketed towards second, and Souza will pick it off the dirt and make the catch of that low liner to end the inning. The Gators get a hit. They strand a runner in scoring position, and the Razorbacks coming into bat here in game 2.
All right. Hey, Nevada, what's going on, buddy? So, yesterday, if you were watching the stream, and we'll do this real quick during the commercial break. Near the end of the game, I got information that my oldest daughter, my first grandbaby, was having some issues. So they went to the hospital. To make a long story short, they did all the tests, whatever. and the little whippersnapper, I guess, was just taking a day off. I guess 2 Hogs losses in a row. He just pissed him off too. So he just took the day off and didn't move a whole bunch. And but his heartbeat was strong. He's sitting where he needs to be. He's head down, ready. He's knocking on the door. But yesterday he was just like, you know what? After 2 Hogs losses with the basketball and baseball, I'm just going to chill today. So I'm going to be lazy like Papa Sarge and just give everybody something to think about. So everything is good. Everything's still on track. He's healthy. Heartbeat is strong. And I appreciate everybody that sent prayers last night because it was stressful. But we are good to go. So thank you, everybody that sent prayers last night.
Interesting for these Razorback hitters. The lineup for DVH today with Ruiz, Koschel, and Helfrich, the top 3. Then Stewart in right, New in center, Sousa back at second. As we mentioned, Robin at a third, Kahio Aloy, the DH, but hitting 8th, and Carter Rutenbar will be at first base, batting 9th. Arkansas was trailing midweek 2-0 before they had a 10-run 5th inning. But yesterday, Troy, they got the 2-run homer from Helfrich in the 5th and added a couple of runs in the 8th, but they were running uphill most of the evening.
Yeah, later in the ball game, the Gators scored 2 in the 7th and then threw a 3 spot up in the 9th, and that really got that separation they were looking for.
Yeah, Sean,
Hayden King,
pretty much what I was
started
thinking.
5 games this year and had not given up an earned run. Think about that. He was the last pitcher from an inning standpoint that qualified that did not allow an earned run. He did give up 8 unearned in that stretch. His last time out,
we need them boys to hit the ball and wake him
against
up.
Alabama, 3 hits and 4 runs in 5 innings. And Damian Ruiz will begin
absolutely,
things.
Dog. Appreciate it very much.
Ruiz will chop one to third. That is right on the chalk.
Lizzie,
Schwartz will make the play and throw out Ruiz, and that did not take long. He came to get that ball before it had a chance to go foul.
Yeah, I think that was a really good play by the third baseman, Schwartz. He just really got to that baseball, like you said. I think if that bounces, the spin on it might have taken that ball foul.
Oh, yeah, it's been ready, Sean. It got used last night.
Here's Camden Koschel. Walked a couple of times, scored a run yesterday. Part of an 0 for 3. Take strike 1. Let's go back and see this play from Schwartz to come get this chopper before it had a chance to kick foul, knowing he had an easy out.
Yeah, that's really heads-up play and just really didn't rush it.
Troy, as good as Koschel has been this year, and he's led this team in just about every offensive category for a bulk of the season, he's batting 192 in league play. I would say part of that, it felt like he hit some balls really hard in some of the earlier series.
To get to 100, so
but those are his overall numbers at 343 with an OPS of well over 1,100.
You see a lot of teams throw him
I don't know why
a lot of off-speed pitches. Really,
the first couple innings always got the stutter.
Change things up and really change
and it goes
the eye
away.
height as well.
Kings 2-1. Was that the splitter there?
I think it must have been, yeah, the velocity.
Spin rate was 1,900.
Yeah, below 2,000.
Thank you, Miss Veronica.
Two to Koschel. Chops one to first. Serwick is there. He'll make the play. Retire Koschel. Couple of ground ball outs to begin the Razorback first inning.
I'm not sure if Aiden King has a little left-hander in him with his hat
like
a little cockeyed, but you also have to think about it. Maybe he's just trying to block the sun because that's the side of the stadium that the sun is coming in on. So I think, okay, maybe he's just being smart. Whatever it takes,
I mean,
right?
it's getting more crooked by the pitch.
Well, the sun's moving too, so give him some credit.
Ryder Helfrich takes strike 1. Well, Ryder hit home run number 7 on his season.
Clutch time.
Also with a couple of walks.
10
He has reached
before
base in
Ryder
every
gets
single
out.
game this year that he has played. 26.
To keep the streak alive. It'll be 4 streams in a row. You guys got it done.
King will pump one over the inside corner. That's a well-placed fastball at 94.
0-2. Don't look like we're going to make it.
Those are a couple pitches as a hitter. You're like, man, you just can't throw them any better.
And he runs one over the inside corner for strike 3. Just carving here in the bottom of the first inning. A couple of soft ground outs and then a 3-pitch K to Helfrich.
Thanks, Ryder. You ruined our streak. We had a 3-game streak going there of getting to 100 likes before the first inning was over, and we missed it by 8. Because they got out too fast. Of course, it may count before the second inning starts. We got 98 right now, so I will allow it. 99 if it hits 100 before the second inning starts. That will keep the streak alive. There it is. All right, we're good. Good job. We were cutting it close that time, but good job. It's 4 streams in a row. We've gotten to 100 before the first inning. Excellent job. Yeah, Sean, it seems like it does. I don't understand that. I mean, it just aggravates me to death because it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, he did just stand there and look at 2 good fastballs. That first one was probably okay, but the second one, the strikeout pitch, looked like it was a little bit on the bottom end of the zone. But if that's where the ump's going to call it, you're going to have to swing at it. And then Dietz will have to exploit the same thing, the bottom end of the zone. That way you just beat the ball into the ground.
Nine trips to the Men's College World Series. Of course, that national championship in 2017. After being swept last weekend in Tuscaloosa, must have been nice to get that win to begin this series at Baum Walker. Blake Sear will bat. Sear takes one a little bit elevated for ball 1. Sear was on base 4 times yesterday, 3 hits, scored a couple of runs.
Yeah, Sear and Bowen were the 2 Gators that had 3-hit games.
Sear, one of the best hitting Gators over the last 10 games. He gets that big bending curve for a strike. Liam Peterson was quoted in the newspaper the other day talking about standing in against Dietz's curveball in high school, and he said, I couldn't hit it. He goes, I really wouldn't want to hit it now. Sear just watched that one roll in. Did he offer? No. Jeff Wright at first says no swing.
That's the breaking ball that Dietz has started to be able to land for a strike.
Yeah, it has to be strength of schedule. Reese is the only reason I can.
The left-handed batter.
I can think why
that
they're
one
not
is
ranked.
Smoke to the gap in left center field. It'll get by Ruiz and go to the fence. Mike Anu's going to pick it up, but Blake Sear starts the second inning with a double to the gap.
Boy, juiced at 109. Just a great swing by Blake Sear. At the very end, Damian Ruiz was thinking about laying out for this baseball.
He was.
And I think he just realized, I just quite can't get there. It's going to be a double either way, so I like his aggressive nature to take that angle that he did just to see if he can get there and cut that ball off.
Next man up is Cade Curlin, who's 1 for 15 in SEC play. That's a 67 batting average. He was hitting 3-hole last night, went 0 for 5. See if he can put the Gators on the board. Did he offer? Another appeal. Again, Jeff Wright says no swing, so he is the least popular person at Baum Walker here through an inning plus. Fans are a little rowdy today. They were more frustrated than rowdy last night. They found a different gear today.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've thawed out just a little bit more.
Yesterday was one of the weirdest mojo feelings in this ballpark I've experienced in a long time.
And not only just even any ball game, let alone a Friday night SEC ball game, but like you said, had the tail end of a spring break Friday and
late night basketball game, the downer from the previous night, and it was just calm, and you give the Gators some credit for just taking the fans out of that game yesterday.
You're exactly right. They did a great job. Like, got out of that 4-run lead through the third, and they didn't look back from that point on.
Well, that's down and in. That's ball 4. So Curlin takes the walk, and there's DVH. We heard from him in the open, Troy, and that was a cold and frustrated Dave Van Horn, just talking about nibble, 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 one of the worst pitch games he's seen in a while, and just the inability to kind of finish off hitters, and a lot of times working from behind in the count.
Yeah, and the few times they got ahead, you said they started nibbling, and then many, many times were, 2-0, 3-0, 2-1.
We've seen Gackle and Gibbler finish out a lot of games for Arkansas. Maybe another issue with the pitch count. Gackle and Gibbler combined to go 6, and then it was Eves and Brissy and McGuire. Got to get that thing figured out. Maybe a new device, new battery. Then you got to test it. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Going to make this official.
Yeah, plate umpire Richard Riley will go out to chaperone. If you stand that close together and you use the pitch com, you don't need the pitch com, right? See Richard Riley say no visit towards the Gators dugout, so he approved of all the business.
Technology's great until it doesn't work.
Yep. I mean, if you and I were out there, we probably could have figured that one out. And we're at the bottom of the list of trying to figure things out. Here is Cole Stanford, the DH. And Troy, we talked about the bottom of the lineup, and Stanford was a good example why. He was over 2, but he was on base 3 times, scored a run, and knocked in 2 runs.
Yeah, good things happen when you get on base.
That pitch a little bit in and missing, so Dietz falls behind the Gators DH 2-0. Arkansas would love to get a ground ball and a chance to turn 2. Almost looked like Stanford was going to make Dietz throw a strike. Pops another strike over the outside corner.
Really good pitcher's pitch right there on the outside corner, and it's not a bad take by Cole Stanford. He was probably looking for something middle in that he could drive, and that's just a pitcher's pitch.
See if Dietz can win this battle. The 2-2, and it's fouled off of Helfrich. Feels like these next 2 hitters will be kind of important to kind of set the tone for this game one way or another.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And you can see Dietz really trying to go with that big, hard slider to get the swing and miss on Cole Stanford.
Another 2-2, and he misses downstairs with a fastball. Double from Sear, a walk to Curlin. Dietz didn't like that baseball. He threw it out. We saw a lot of that last night. In cooler temperatures, hitters or pitchers would get those baseballs, didn't like the feel, and ask for another. Here's a payoff pitch. Wave and a miss. Stanford helped out Dietz. Chased the high fastball, and that's a K.
Boy, that is a big turn of events. It could be bases loaded because that ball is not close to being a strike. And it's so easy to lay off that pitch when you're here in the booth, but when you're in the box really trying to protect and that thing just looks big and your eyes light up. But at 94, just really had some good carry.
You know, you're looking for a 3-2 fastball and you get one, but
yeah.
The problem is it's up and out of the zone. Cash Strayer, the right fielder, next in. He walked 3 times and singled in a run yesterday. Dietz starts him with strike 1.
Probably going to see, oh, wow, this is Matt Hobbs going to come out. I think this is a how do you want to approach this hitter conversation.
It's interesting to do that one pitch in, though.
Yeah, I think this conversation is more to almost Ryder Helfrich than it is to Hunter Dietz.
So we've had 2 PitchCom malfunctioning issues, and now an early visit from Matt Hobbs. And You know, he has said this year alone that when he first got here, he was kind of a let these guys figure it out on the fly type of pitching coach. DVH would look at him early in his tenure and say, go out there and talk to your guys. And well, he's out there early this afternoon.
Might be one of those 2 words say, it's time. It's time to go talk to them. Yeah, huge batter right here. Base hit to the outfield. It's definitely going to score the runner from second base. Sears with good speed.
0-1 pitch, cut it and missed.
I think you're going to see Strayer see a steady diet of that slider cutter. Now this is probably going to start down the middle and go down and away.
Yeah, well, look at he's standing at the plate. He's protecting the inside of the plate. You try to go inside, you're going to
Arkansas giving up some hits on some 0-2 pitches here as of late.
He's making you see
exactly
what I just said.
Strayer starts towards first. Richard Riley points towards first base. He didn't react like that one got his hand. Now he does. He's kind of going for a stroll near first base. That was an 0-2 up and in pitch that results in an HBP, and the base is loaded.
Well, Brett, the initial sound to me sounded like it was the hands.
There, he did shake it a little bit. Sure looked like it got him right there on the hand. Almost the wrist, maybe.
Or there's even like the back of the hand.
Boy, that is not what Dietz wanted to do, however.
Well, thanks, Captain
The ability
Obvious.
to jump ahead in the count.
I'm a little shocked they went with the fastball up and in.
I'm with you. You expect that cutter or the breaking pitch.
Or maybe that was supposed to be the fastball about bill high and just out over the plate, but high.
He crowds the plate. I bet he gets hit a lot.
Sometimes you see those hitters immediately drop the bat and start shaking their hands. Strayer drifted to first, and then all of a sudden I think that pain kicked in.
Yeah, you just hope nothing's broken
Oh
in that
my
hand.
goodness. You're always so worried about the fingers, the hand, the wrist.
Bill,
Let's go
it's
back
an
and
umpire
listen in to
in
see
baseball.
the sound this pitch made when it hit the hand, we believe, of Strayer. There was that's a swing intermixed with the thud of ball
Absolutely,
to hand.
Bobby. You can't do
Yeah,
it.
I think there was a pretty quick grimace right there by Cash Strayer.
Well, he did offer at it, Bill, but I do believe he held up as the reason why. Because if he
Colton
would have
Schwartz
swung,
next up.
Still just one out.
Still just
he
one
could have
gone.
been
Remember,
hit,
it was the
but
second
it
inning yesterday. The
doesn't
Gators
count.
scored 3, and they did so, Troy, on one single that inning. They've loaded the bases up on one hit this second.
because I was looking at that too.
Dietz to Schwartz. Rolls it in there for strike one.
We need to double play like something fierce here,
So
Dietz.
Arkansas has got the corners playing in. Carter Rutenbar at first base is in on the grass. They're trying to take away a squeeze, or if there's something hit to them, to try to go home, get that lead runner.
0-1 swung on into the glove of Helfrich for strike two.
Strikeout works too.
Well, the same position Hunter Dietz was against Strayer, and then he hit him.
You're right. Up 0-2 before the HBP. He's ahead of Schwartz as well. Leadoff hitter Kyle Jones waits on deck. Another two-strike pitch. He just about
my goodness.
backdoored it.
Yeah, I definitely think this was up. See Helfrich trying to pull that one in just a bit.
Came with the 0-2 backdoor curve. What does he want to do on the 1-2 offering? He'll get the wave and the miss.
See you, meat.
Second K of the inning. Came back with a cutter, didn't he, Troy?
Yeah, I think that's his best pitch. It's got the most movement, really difficult to hit.
Last week when he had the 12 strikeouts, 11 of those came on either the cutter or the curve. That was the put-away pitch. Here's Kyle Jones, who bounced to short to begin the game, and he's going to rocket one to center. New is playing deep. He'll take it on a bounce. A run will score. The throw comes home. It's cut off, and the Gators get a 2-run single from Kyle Jones. Well, he wasted little time after the strikeout to Schwartz, sending one right back up the middle. Picking up RBIs 22 and 23.
Yeah, really good swing on a fastball that was a little bit elevated. And like you said, New's playing deep, really no chance to throw out Kurland coming in from second base.
Troy, every team wants to get off to a good start. Every pitching coach wants their starter to get out to an economical and a good beginning. But because Arkansas really leaned on their bullpen last night with Gibbler, Eves, Brissy, and McGuire after Gackel went an inning and a third, I think it magnifies the importance of that today.
Well, I know you can't throw all breaking balls. You've got to throw your fastball at some point, but both balls that were scorched this inning, Sear and Jones, were on fastballs.
Felt like Peterson leaned on that breaking ball quite a bit yesterday over the fastball. But here's Brendan Lawson. He singled last inning. And this is a really dangerous hitter, even though it's left on left. You're talking about a couple of guys that the scouts are here to see. You're talking about a top 75, top 100 pitcher this year in Dietz, along with Peterson this year and Gackel and Helfrich, Aiden King and Brendan Lawson, highly thought of for next year's draft. A scout's dream. Good pitch for the strike on the inside edge.
A good fastball and also a good take right there. That's right under the hands of Lawson. And there's times there's pitches in the strike zone that just aren't hitter friendly.
I was getting ready to say it feels like Dietz is maybe a mile an hour or two below what we've normally seen, but he reached back for a little more in that previous pitch. Same thing with that cutter. He's gone up a couple of miles an hour alone in the fastball and cutter.
Yeah, I think he just kind of feels the importance of this inning, trying to put a little something extra on it.
42 pitches in. Another big pitch in this frame, and he misses, and that is ball 4. And Surowick will be the 8th Gator to hit in the second.
Almost even on his balls and strikes. 20 balls, 23 strikes. That kind of tells the story right there.
Well, it does, and this Razorback team has sort of been led by their pitching, maybe ahead of both hitting and defense this year, as Surowick will wave and miss. And sometimes, Troy, I think early in a series like this, you're trying to figure out if these pitchers are being cautious and working around the zone against good hitters, or whether they aren't as sharp as we've seen them before.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of both. I think, you know, they're falling behind and trying to be just a little too fine on both teams that can really swing the bat.
Obviously, this is a dangerous situation with Surowick. A count of ball, then a strike. Only Gator to start every game this year is Ethan Surowick. The 1-1 from Dietz, and Ryder Helfrich has been throwing himself on a few of those pitches as well to keep him from kicking away.
He can't even locate his fastball.
That's
the
just
best
a
thing
pitch
he's
right
got
there
is that curveball.
Clearly, Dietz doesn't want to hang, and you just overthrow that breaking ball, and that's why you spike it.
That wasn't a breaking ball, dude.
Bases full of Gators. 2 runs home this inning. A chopper towards Helfrich. He will casually make that play. Didn't want to rush it. And the inning is over. The Gators leave 3, but they get a couple of runs to take an early lead in the middle game of this series.
JK, you got to not post so early, brother. Yeah, it's definitely we struggle because it ain't hurting Florida. Excuse me, Christ almighty. Yeah, absolutely network. I mean, that's baseball 101 right there. Absolutely correct you are. Let's see if they can give him some major razor power. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, Breezy. These guys between the announcers and the umpire behind the plate, it's gonna be a comic show. And then you have to listen to me too. So
As equal as you can get, you can see that Arkansas's got a 4-game lead when going against Kevin O'Sullivan. But boy, I tell you what, these teams are so evenly matched. There's great talent on both sides, and boy, they find some really good players. They scour the whole country.
Arkansas had won 5 of 6 at Baum Walker before last night. It'll be Stewart, New, and Souza 4, 5, and 6 against Aiden King, who barely broke a sweat in the first.
let's go, beef stew.
Couple of soft ground outs and a strikeout. See Stewart's numbers on the year. Zach last night would go for 3 with the walk. Hit a rocket over 100 miles an hour in the 8th inning that Curlin made a tumbling catch
thinking
on
about getting a map
out on the grass in shallow right from his second
and putting a pin in for where everybody watches the show from. I think that'd be cool.
I don't think King's going to mess with that.
No, that was the announcer didn't know what they were talking about.
His mojo working.
There's some mojo. Is that a swing? It was.
I want to see it.
Fans grumbling already. Let's take a peek.
Oh, yep.
Oh yeah.
It was
probably enough. And that's on the outside corner. Strike 3 call.
Come on, man.
Aiden King's locked in early.
You know when pitchers have got that strut going as the infield's throwing the ball around the horn and they just kind of follow that baseball when they feel like they're in the groove.
Especially when they know it's a strike about a split second before the umpire punches out.
He went past the plate, but that pitch wasn't a strike, though.
Here's Micah New. That's the pitch New
Come on, man.
See called a strike. That was one.
Because it's not a strike.
He feels like it's low.
Were we bowling? That was under his knees.
Micah had 2 hits of Arkansas's 5 yesterday.
Exact same pitch right there.
Now in multi-hit games with 13. That might have been something that you would have lost the bet on entering the week, considering the consistency of a Kozel or maybe a Halfrick. Off his fists, softly to Surowick, and there's 2 outs, and Troy Arkansas's not hit a ball hard yet.
Well, they really haven't, and just showing the ability of Aiden King with his off-speed pitches, really kind of having Arkansas sitting back on the slower stuff.
You wouldn't want to hear me say, Michael.
To run those fastballs right in on the hands of Micah New.
Couldn't do no worse, I guess.
I mean, this is a 1-2 punch for these Gators. Coming into this weekend,
these guys
Peterson
definitely
and King,
love that Gator
through
meat.
6 turns in the rotation, they had a combined 2.76 earned run average and a 78 to 23 strikeout to walk ratio. When you start your weekend with that rotation, it's a surprise to me the Gators aren't ranked. I know we talked about that last night, considering their RPI was 8.
Yeah, it's kind of a head scratcher.
Nolan Sousa fouls one at the plate. Florida has 2 more wins than Arkansas. The Razorbacks have 2 more losses. Same conference.
Sean, I mean that.
But the Gators fell out of the top 25 in a couple of polls, even though with that win last night, they're 5-0 against top 25 teams this year.
I mean, that was blatantly below. That was cap high.
But host or be
do call it a strike.
With RPI considerations.
It just doesn't make any sense.
And you can't swing at that because you ain't going to do nothing with it.
Different committees are thinking as far as
those
polls, but definitely something
I definitely
you really
do know
don't have to worry
that
about until toward the end of the year.
That's for later. Sousa was 0 for 4 last night. He began the day 10 of 20 in SEC-only games.
You're opening it up too fast.
We've talked about Arkansas not hitting
Keep
the
that
ball
front
hard
hip
against
in.
Aiden King. Well, King hasn't thrown anything over the heart of the plate.
It does help. One-two to Souza.
There you go.
Well, he didn't
And
hit that
away.
one hard, but he's going to get a base hit. And maybe a double out of that, although he jackknifed rounding first. He was going through the base. He tried to make a quick turn in the wet dirt and went down. Otherwise, that might have been a two-base hit. It's a shift beater.
Yeah, that's almost one of those plays that you might want your first base coach to tell you, hey, start rounding the bag. Don't run through this. There's no way
It had some English on it.
that anybody's going to try to throw out Souza. He was kind of taking a peek, and I'm
Cue
surprised
ball,
he ran
corner
through the
pocket.
base as hard as he did, and there's a little spin out.
Hey,
That'll make you
Christy.
change paths quickly.
Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Here's Reese Robinette. Reese just missed last night what could have been a double off the fence at the 400-foot marker, maybe with a few more feet, a 3-run homer. See his season numbers, but 4 for 25 in SEC-only games. Gonna hit one sharply, but fouled outside of first.
Reese, you need to get some
talk a lot
lift
about
on the ball, sir.
Bad speed and excellent velocity, Brett. How about
go,
61
little
miles
country.
an hour off the bat of Nolan Souza?
Well, the Micah News soft lineout was at 43 previous to that hit from Souza.
Well, there's a little bit of breeze coming in from right field, and it might knock a few baseballs down if it's going to be close.
That's not close. Down and in to Robinette.
Well, everything's close with this umpire.
Aiden King kind of fluttering that glove for a while as he gets that grip set against his body in the pitch.
There,
Finds the strike zone again.
you got to protect the bottom of the zone,
Living
Reese.
at the bottom part of the
He
zone.
is.
Because it's one of those borderline pitches, and you think as a hitter, okay, it might drift down low, but then it has a lot of carry that allows it to stay on plane.
I think you're seeing it
Croaky.
maybe a little bit lower. You're
Thanks
hoping
for
it's a
becoming a
little bit
member
down.
of the SAR
Souza
squad.
will run. That throws off line. What a great job by Lawson to come up with that baseball. Otherwise, who knows? Souza could have popped up and headed to third.
Yeah, I definitely think so. What a great read by Brennan Lawson. Watch him get in front of the runner and go get that baseball. Yeah, Souza's going to be on third base, no doubt. And then that takes away, King to be able to throw one in the dirt to try to get the punch out.
It helped he was coming straight towards the base. If he was drifting across the bag, he might not have been able to lunge and make that stop. 3-2 to Robinette. There's a big chopper up the middle. It found the seam.
Little country pokes one
And here
through.
comes Souza around third. He'll score.
We're on the
and
board,
seam
baby.
that chopper from
And away.
Robinette, and the Hogs are on the board. Boy, Aiden King has to
Looks
be
like a
wondering
line
what
drive in
just
the
happened
scorebook.
between that soft single from Souza, the stolen base, and a chopper that bounced past Curlin.
Well, there was a couple bases that you felt like Arkansas, if they got him, they might have scored a run. But, boy, just a chopper up the middle, seeing eye single just right past Curlin. No chance for him. And you felt like Souza could have been standing on second base if he would have, quick made the turn. And then also if Lawson doesn't come up with that ball, but it didn't really matter.
Here's Cahillo Aloy. Cahillo did not have some at-bats that were a lot of fun midweek against UCA. Struck out 2 times, then Rutenbar pinch hit for him, Troy. Hit a double off the
Absolutely,
right field
RS.
fence and then homered. And he was
We'll
in the
take
starting
him.
lineup yesterday. And looks like we might have a concern with Cash Strayer. Remember, he was the guy, Troy, that was hit by the pitch last inning.
Yeah, maybe that hand and all that adrenaline is starting to really take a, wear off.
He's holding that hand up, and we felt like, Troy, when he was hit by a pitch, there was a couple of seconds where it didn't faze him, and then before he even got to first, I would imagine it was throbbing, and he felt it. Well, here we are mid-inning.
I think this is a conversation that said, hey, I don't even think I can grip a baseball to throw it.
You see it wrapped there, and that's the throwing hand. Let's go back, Troy, and see what it looked like when he played this ball back in. If he was the one that made the throw, and it will be the case. That tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
He can't grip the ball.
Man, that just makes you
I almost
sick.
feel like you let Jones make that throw. It gives you another inning, because otherwise Arkansas would have seen that and said, you know what, if we have a chance to run against him, we have to. Ashton Wilson comes on to replace Strayer. I was talking about Cahillo, though, Troy. Again, he didn't have a couple of good at-bats than Rutenbar did. Rutenbar started yesterday. Cahillo had some live at-bats midweek, and it didn't go well until he got a changeup and hit one 440 feet, and that was a good sign. And he had a good BP today. DVH has been asked about maybe platooning a left-handed Rutenbar and a right-handed hitting Cahillo Aloy. The problem is Cahillo's not hit left-handers at all this year.
Yeah, that's exactly
Here's
right.
Pilkey.
It kind of throws the numbers on its head.
I'd imagine he's getting a lot of change-ups and off speed from the lefties. Takes a 2-0 fastball for a strike.
Really good location on that fastball, down and in. You knew Aloy was really sitting off speed right there, kind of leaning out over the plate.
Couple of hits in SEC play this year for Cahillo. A big swing, and he chops one foul.
Surmise. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the
The
Star
hard thing
Squad.
to do is, even like you're a junior like Aloy, is not trying to do too much in this situation. You've kind of sat the first game of the series. You didn't have a great game on Tuesday, and you're trying to make something big happen right here.
A little bit down and not by
Good
much.
patience, Aloy. Something you ain't had all year long.
And the count has gone full. Cahillo started this season with a 12-game hitting streak, but it's not been a great deal of fun since. One swing, though, could turn that around in a hurry. Here comes the payoff pitch. Big chopper to third. Schwartz will glove it. His throw across the diamond
Better
retires
at bat,
Aloy
though.
to end the inning. Arkansas does get a run back on a couple of hits. 2 innings in the books. Gators lead by a run.
Not better at bat. At least he wasn't playing at those outside pitches and running away from him. Yeah, I agree. A lot better patience. Absolutely. Yeah, Reese and Sean both. I agree. I'm telling you, sometimes when you set them boys down for a game, it makes a big difference. Lets them know. It depends. Right-handed, I like Sean if it was middle down. Left-handed, I liked it down and in. I batted left and right-handed. Ethan, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
Be cruising, though.
Yeah, really the difference is,
Ashton,
that one walk by Hunter Deeds.
It was good news, buddy.
Given
He
up
was
to
just
Kate Kurland and
just taking
came
the day
around to
off.
score. That's the difference
I
in
guess
this ballgame.
he was upset with the Hogs' losses.
Carson Bowen, the only Gator who did not hit last inning.
But his heartbeat is
Lined
strong,
out to
and he's
Sousa
still.
to end the first. Takes one up and out.
His plane is still set to arrive
Well,
on time.
Arkansas's team went to South Carolina last week. A lot of them wore Razorback basketball jerseys and gear before the NCAA
Thank you for
tournament.
asking, Ashton.
They joked with Dietz, did the media, about him filling out a bracket, I'm sure for entertainment purposes only, and he said I was about 20% correct, but he had the Hogs winning it all, and he said, I hope I'm right about that. Well, he might be in about that 15% ratio as he pumps in a strike. He's going to stick to pitching, Troy, rather than basketball prognostication.
I think that's probably wise.
I think we all should just stick to baseball. It's outside 2-2. You know, the question I posed to you last inning was Arkansas's pitchers, not just today, but throughout the game plus, nibbling or kind of fighting their command. And it can be both, but I think we're going to get a better idea in this frame because Dietz kind of needs to put the pedal to the metal here for a few frames.
Yeah, I think so. You know, his pitch count, you see right there, already up to 53. And
maybe you should have been playing
he's going to have to
basketball
start landing more pitches.
at 6'6".
Again, if you throw pitches at the right location, you can throw a lot of strikes.
He left that one up, and it was spanked to the left for a base hit. So Bowen begins the third with a Gator single.
It looked like it was the breaking ball that just kind of hung. 103 off the bat of Carson Bowen.
Here's Blake Sear. He doubled in the second. Scored the first of a couple of Gator runs. He's going to drop down a bunt. This is almost a no man's land. Dietz, though, will throw to first. He made it close, but Sear will get the base hit.
Saps, what's good, man?
Boy, that was a perfect
got done
bunt
with a
from
cross
Sear.
pitch.
Helfrich is
I've never had that.
About that. Sear was running.
I always wanted to try one of those. I've never.
Baseline. DVH is coming out and said, "Hey, I want to challenge
Never
this."
have.
Let's see where he was running.
Well,
I hear they're good
though. Did he switch?
He was definitely, and he hit the white base too. Now, the argument is, then that could cause the pitcher to try to throw that ball so he doesn't hit the runner.
Yeah, I thought you had to go to the green bag.
Blake Sear was driving a car. It'd be like he was going over that middle line back and forth a little bit, and then DVH is going to want to
Arkansas
review.
is challenging the call at first base.
Oh, I bet.
Well, I don't think you're challenging the safer out. Now he's out there again barking at the crew.
After replay, he stepped on the wrong base. He stepped on the white base. He's out.
Yeah, I was going to say you have to go to the outside bag.
Helfrich credit for that. As much as he was trying to run in foul territory, I don't know if it was instinct or not. He hit the wrong base and he's out.
Wow, that is a huge play for Arkansas, and you're right.
Yeah, I'm tired, bro, and
Heads up
hungry,
play by
so
Ryder
I got no
Helfrich.
patience today, bro. I'm trying to
Here's
stay
Kate
positive
Kurland.
myself.
So I guess in essence you'll still get a sacrifice out of that because you did the job of
Right.
advancing the runner, but lose the base runner and the hit. Troy, I guess the motto of that is, unless you're hitting a ball in the gap where you're going to turn and hit the inside of the base, just hit that green
Hit
thing.
the green
Yeah,
one.
I mean, that's
That
what
is
it's there
exactly
for.
Right. The breaking ball is really eluding Hunter Dietz right now. He's landing it in that left-hand batter's box.
Ground ball to third. Robinette will spear another one to make the play, and there's 2 outs.
You play, Reese.
I'm with you, Troy. And in fact, I think I'm having a little hard time differentiating the cutter and the curve, and I shouldn't today because when that curve is on, it's hard and sharp.
Well, yeah, and it's really the miles per hour. The curve is around.
Let me
80,
help you,
and
Mr.
the cutter's
Announcer.
in
The
that
curve is the one that
mid-80s.
loops up there and drops in, and the cutter's more
But
straight.
It kind of pops out of Hunter Dietz's hand.
It moves
when he
left
doesn't
to
have
right.
the right gripper, and you see that end up in that left-hand batter's box.
Cole Stanford.
That's a curveball right there, sir.
That's obviously the curve there.
That was much better.
Jesus Christ.
Dietz could retire Stanford. He would kind
Network,
of,
I think
kind
that
of
would be a
get that pitch
sacrifice.
count a little more back in line.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would be.
Because when it was first and second and nobody out,
You almost felt like this inning was going to get away from him,
yes,
didn't
so
you?
it had that possibility.
That's the first
of
time I've
potential.
actually seen that happen in a live game. There's some eyes popping up on the screen finally.
0-2. It's ground ball served to Kojal. He'll wait on it just a bit. Kind of flipped one to first. Rutenbar kept his foot on the bag.
Good play, Rudy.
Not a lot of velocity on that toss, but Dietz works around the leadoff single. It remains a 2-1 Gators lead.
All right, they gave us a break on that one. Nobody want to see Ego. You ain't sponsored in this video. I don't know. I mean, that sounds weird as a fielder's choice because it wasn't a fielder's choice on that. I had to look that up and see for sure how that is, how they call that, because yeah, Xander. Hey, good to see you too, buddy. Absolutely, Sean. I could see that. Sap's probably more likely as being a sacrifice bunt, more or less. Richard, hey, Sarge, new member, hog living in Louisiana. Thanks for the streams. Only way. Hey, Richard, appreciate you becoming a member, man. And welcome.
You know, he's running down the line, and it's more about what base he steps on. And you can see that he almost steps on Rutenbar's foot, and he hits that white base, and that's why they have that. Look how close he is to stepping on that foot, and that the safety aspect of it is why they went to the dual bases.
It's just befuddling, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that is kind of a head scratcher.
I'm going to get a map, like I said earlier, and I'm going to put a pin on for all you viewers. We're going to do a roll call one game.
Rutenbar will shoot one foul yesterday.
And get
doubled in 3 at-bats, knocked in a run and scored a run.
Get a pin from where everybody's viewing from as we grow.
Blake Sear, you're smelling a hit. Just hit the right base. I think because you're laying down a bunt, you should really be cognizant of the fact you need to be in that running lane or not on the other side of the chalk to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they have an orange base in Florida, and it threw him off with the green one here. I've seen some other teams have some orange ones.
Softball has orange ones.
2 appropriate colors, orange or green.
It's taking a little bit of getting used to for the old folks as Rutenbar fouls another one away. I think it makes sense, though, in many reasons why they're utilizing that.
Miss Vicky,
yeah, I really
good
like
to see
it.
you.
The only time that a first baseman can utilize that green base is on a strike 3 ball in foul territory behind home plate.
All right, I got to tell you about a softball game I had a few weeks ago. Here's the 2-2 to Rutenbar. That's down. Same thing. Drop strike 3. Catcher goes to
I'm going to do
right
that same
towards the first base dugout. The first baseman goes to the inside base. The runner goes to that base
right here
as well.
by my,
so they both arrive, and they're both entitled to that there.
Okay.
But that's the one time you can get a little bit messed up. Rutenbar will take the walk, and maybe a beginning for the Razorbacks in this third inning that
pins with
might
the
give
red
them a chance to take their
heads
first
on
lead
them
of this series.
And then just start sticking them wherever you guys are from.
Leadoff runner to get on base in this game, and
obviously I can't
pretty
put
unusual for Aiden
1,000 little pins in Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas, but
boy, he's got some really good stuff and throws a lot of strikes.
Again, he was the last pitcher who qualified from an inning standpoint to give up an earned run this year. Now, Colin Fisher had his 20 innings before he allowed an earned run, but it was 5 full turns through the rotation before King had given up an earned run. Ruiz,
there you go,
with
Ruiz.
the runner going, will roll one to the left, but Rutenbar cannot get to third. He was off with the pitch, but Sear will charge and play it back in, and the Razorbacks might
Seattle,
be
Washington,
in
that's out there.
in the home half of the third inning.
Yeah, you see Rutenbar take
yeah,
off
Bobby,
right
I'm
there.
about
Just
30.
Nice job of hit and run by
25
Ruiz.
minutes from
You got to get that ball
myself.
on the ground, and that's a really good heads-up play by the freshman.
Welcome
Rutenbar.
in.
There's no
Seattle.
reason
that's
to try
awesome.
to stretch that and go to third base because you're going to be out.
Conversation on the mound for the Gators.
That's got to be one of the furthest ones
David
away.
Ruiz was 0 for 4 last night.
Maybe I'll give a prize to the furthest viewer
16 straight games ended and
that's subscribed.
Gets his first hit this series.
Or a member or something.
You've got probably one of your
Missouri.
most consistent hitters do the Arkansas Razorbacks and Camden Kozel right here, and you really doubt that DVH is going to ask him to bunt in this situation. I think you feel like you need
I hear you, Richard.
put up a crooked number
he is
in this
the spark
inning
plug.
when you've got 2, 3, and 4 coming
just
up
does
with no
things
outs
right.
and runners on first and second. I think you just got to take your shot at a big inning. You also have a guy that has really good plate awareness and doesn't usually chase
Jonathan
pitches
from
outside the
Hinesville.
zone.
You close to me. You in Hinesville.
Rolled out to first his only time in. He will square, but pull that bat back on a pitch that's up and out.
Memphis and Nevada. You ain't in Antarctica.
Schwartz over at third base is playing even with the
Alabama.
bag, and that's what Kozel's job is to do, is bunt that ball down the third base line.
New
Make
Orleans.
him field it to allow that free base to be open for
I
Rutenbar.
think he's going to square again. Well, he is. Pitch misses. King has fallen behind 2-0. At any point, do you allow him, since he's ahead in the count, to swing away? Or are you intent on Kozel who
that's
can
out
handle the
there,
bat,
Sean.
dropping one down?
I think I'm almost letting him swing away, being ahead
I was hoping you would say
2
that.
balls and no strikes.
Rutenbar at second, Ruiz at first, and that's a dandy.
Perfect bunt.
Schwartz will pick it up, slings it to
Safe.
first, safe at first base. Kozel hit the
Absolutely.
green base.
It's amazing what
Let's
happens
go,
when you hit the
boys.
right one.
Even when the Gators were anticipating the bunt, Kozel laid down a
Spicoli
better
says Lower Arkansas.
sacrifice,
LA.
but turned out to be a hit. Then the Gators were able to handle it defensively.
Boy, it just picture perfect right there. You see Schwartz really charging hard. This all he can do, and I think he almost had like that little
I
league
think so,
five-finger
too.
grip. He just couldn't get quite enough on that throw.
Because when he got to the ball, I thought he might make that play. Well, here's Helfrich, who homered last night. Batting with the bases loaded, and that one
there we
goes to
go.
the backstop, but
Ties
maybe
the
a play
game.
at the plate. Safe as Rutenbar. He went to the back tip of the plate. Richard Riley, the
go.
plate umpire, got there, and he almost paused and thought about for a split second. And the carom gave Bowen a chance to maybe get Rutenbar at the dish.
Boy, that's an aggressive play by Rutenbar with no outs. That is
I see.
really close. And yeah, like you said.
Oh, the ball came out. That's what he was waiting
Wow.
for. I think he was going to be out, Troy, if he catches it and you never get the glove and the ball together for King at the plate, and that's so tough for those pitchers to do.
Well, he didn't call him safe until Rutenbar with his foot. Wow, that's a great stop by Bowen.
Bowen saved what could have been another run. Remember, over the past week, Arkansas
Reese, he
has
never had
scored
the ball
more
in his
runs on
glove,
wild
bro.
pitches or pass balls than anything
That ball
else.
was laying on the ground between
Because
Kozel's
he
legs.
did not give the safe sign until Rutenbar's heel hit home plate
Rutenbar, sorry.
as King was picking up that baseball.
Oh, look, it's our shortstop, Ryder Helfrich.
In a game against Northern Colorado recently, Arkansas scored 5 runs on either bases-loaded walks, wild pitches, or pass balls.
Watch this right here. Rutenbar slides in. The umpire doesn't call him safe until Rutenbar pushes his foot on the base right there, and then that's when the home plate umpire, Richard Riley, says he's safe.
His entire body went by the plate
Yeah, he
until
never touched it.
the back
And
of
then,
his shoe
and-
made contact.
yeah, King is trying to pick that baseball up, and then Rutenbar taps that base with his foot, and then the safe call is made because that's what
That's
he was
a lot
waiting
going
on.
in that
was
sequence.
ball being dropped and
Ball
runner
not
missing
being
home
caught,
plate.
missing home plate. Then Bowen making a nice pick to save another run as the Gators got some activity down to their bullpen. It was quiet, it was lonely in that bullpen, but after a couple of those tosses from King, who had been really good through a couple of innings.
Earl, just
ready
become a
just in
member.
case
Thank
this
you very
goes
much,
south.
Earl. We appreciate
3-0
that.
to
Thank you for
Helfrich.
supporting the channel.
Swing it away, and the
I
man
like
who
that.
leads the SEC
Your name will
in
now be
walks
on the
was
board.
Green lighted 3-0.
Tomorrow.
I was just thinking, if you're going to ever let a guy swing on 3-0, which DVH does not do very often, that was a good opportunity right there to see if Helfrich can just hit one out of the park.
Well, you're thinking King needs to calibrate and just pump one right down the middle. 3-1 pitch. That's on the corner. And all of a
Great.
sudden he's come back to even it up or send it full.
Yeah, great pitch right there. Sorry to talk over you, Brett, but my goodness.
Ruiz at third, Kozel at second. Here comes a payoff pitch.
Mm.
Sent out
Did
towards
he get-
right. Wilson, the new right
Got
fielder,
jammed
will
a little
make the
bit.
catch. Ruiz with his speed will tag. He'll come to the plate and he's safe. Arkansas has its first lead of the series. Bowen was trying to tag the back leg or shoe of
Let's go.
Ruiz. The Gators going to request a peek of this one.
Well, that was a really close play, and Wilson, the catcher, Bowen, the catcher, was trying to deke Ruiz right there, just standing like the ball got cut. Nice throw by Wilson. That's all you can really do in that situation.
Let's
Remember,
go,
Stoyer
Stu.
had to come out of the game after he was hit by a pitch on his throwing hand. He
Hit a
would not
bomb
have had
right
a
now.
chance to make
Break this game
play.
open. Beef stew.
Koschel held at second. Here's Zach Stewart. Looks at strike one.
Are you a little surprised?
Yeah, he
that
does. He's got a
Koschel
pretty
didn't
good
try
arm,
to
Bobby.
Go from second to third.
It doesn't matter. Kozel's going to score on a base hit
Wave
anyway.
and a miss by Stewart at the 92-mile-an-hour heat.
Yeah, RS tipped the cap to the outfielder there because he did threw a bullet to home plate.
Up and into Stewart, who struck out looking back in the second. Two runs on two singles this inning for the Razorbacks. One was a bunt single, one was on a hit and run.
Ooh. Time it up now, Stu. At the very least, we got the lead and we're getting this guy's pitch count up.
Gators have three infielders on that right side to try to cut down that base hit through the up the middle or to the right.
There it is,
Stewart lines one
Stewie.
out to right center field. This ball's going to hang up for Wilson, who makes the diving grab, and he plays it back in.
All right, that
Well, the ball
outfielder's got
will
to go.
find you.
Bruh.
And Ashton Wilson made the throw home previously, but laid out and took a hit away from Zach Stewart on this liner off the end of his bat.
Boy, what a great job by Wilson right there. One, he was playing about a step more shallow, and we've talked about the Gator outfielders trying to play a little more aggressive, play a little closer, but what a great read, and that is a big-time catch, because if that ball gets by, Stewart's standing on third.
There's Mike Anu, and he's going to swing at the first pitch and sky it in the air
Got under that one.
to center. Jones underneath it. He will make the catch to end the inning, but Arkansas gets a couple of runs. They've taken their first lead of the series. 3-2 Hogs through 3 innings.
Good job, boys. Do we give him some fire hog now since we got the lead? Oh, no. I play too much AI and it's garbage. Oh, what am I going to do now? Should I just show the black screen? Shane, it takes a big man to admit that. He said, I ain't even looking, I was off. Man, we only had 179 likes. What's going on? Is my AI keeping everybody from hitting that like button? I bet there is, JK. Jim said, there goes his dog don't like my AI. He wants to eat that pig ear. Here you go, Jim. We'll give him a break.
There's a lot of stuff that I had to fix last year mechanically, and it was a big struggle. There was a lot of stuff coming at me at once, and it was really hard not to get overwhelmed.
Troy, I think it's a great example of trying to make the most out of what could be a lost year when you almost reinvent yourself and use that downtime you rarely have to try and better yourself.
Yeah, I think so. And you really have that opportunity with an injury to really work on the mental preparation, the mental side of the game.
You know, he's talked about that cutter, and you know, even as this season has gone on, as he faces Wilson for the first time he's batted in this game, and there's a breaking ball. He said he can throw that cutter harder and softer, maybe take a little more off, a little more depthy. He likes throwing it harder than softer. But it's that curve, and Mike Anu has said when he's in center, when it starts in the sky and it lands in the middle, he knows it's going to be a good day.
Starts in the sky. That's got a lot of drop to it. Yeah, I tell you, when any four of these pitchers that have thrown so far in these 2 ball games are on, they're almost unhittable.
Field to first, no, says Jeff Wright, no swing. I think baseball's happened, though, a couple of times in this series where you look up and there's a few base runners, there's not a lot of balls hard hit, and all of a sudden, got to make some pitches. Dietz got back on track just a little bit in the third when Sear hit the white base instead of the green base.
Well, that was a big play, wasn't it?
It was, because then he got a couple of ground outs and he was through the frame, and Arkansas scored 2 in the bottom of the third.
Luke is from England.
Good job by Wilson right here battling.
Oh, I missed a few subscribers. I had to step away for a second.
Not a lot of playing time for Ashton
Jeffrey
Wilson.
Prim, thank you for
Big
joining the
breaking
SAR
ball in
Squad.
there for strike 3.
And Debbie Carr, welcome to the SAR Squad. Thank
Strikeout
you.
number 3 for Dietz.
Yeah, took just a little something off that one. 79 on the breaking ball. And again, that's where the metrics really come into play when you say, hey, your breaking balls has this much depth at 83, but it has, you know, almost double at 79.
I bet Mike Anu was out there in center saying when it starts in the sky and it lands, it's going to be a good day. Schwartz struck out back in the second.
See, there it was right there.
Come on, Dietz, don't walk him now. Go right after him. We got you the
Gators
lead.
got their 2 in the second. Arkansas run in the second. Couple of tallies in the third inning. Hard hit up the middle, just over the base and into center. 10th hit of the year for Colton Schwartz.
There's Jeffrey. Again.
It just felt like one of those
And
BP
Debbie.
swings. Go up there, just
We
hit the ball on the
appreciate you
ground up the
both.
middle. Don't try to overswing.
You know, really, Troy, I don't think the wind has impacted this series as much as I thought it would based on the wind we had on Thursday and then the cooler temperatures and wind yesterday. Here's Kyle Jones. He's going to foul one away. I don't know if you saw this yesterday at Wrigley, and I think I've done about 50 games at Wrigley, so I've seen it all from a wind standpoint. Ian Happ hit a ball about 109 miles an hour with a launch angle of 32 degrees, and the wind, they estimate, cost him 113 feet.
Oh, my goodness.
That pitch looked pretty good, but it missed outside.
No, it didn't.
Did an infielder catch that
Well,
ball?
it was
I mean,
supposed to end up on
goodness.
Waveland, and it was not even close to the warning track. So you go back the last couple of years, there have been 27 balls hit that hard with that launch angle. 25 of the 27 went for a home run, averaged 419. Well, that one kicks away, and Helfrich, his throw is late down to second base. That's another free base for the Gators. They've had a couple of those today. But he lost 113 feet of distance because of the wind. So when you smoke a ball and it doesn't even get to the warning track and it should have been a home run, it leaves you scratching your head. Today we've had some bunt hits. We've had some seeing eye base hits. Baseball has jumped in the way of these pitchers' afternoons.
Just off the outside.
3-1 pitch. Dietz will issue the walk. So after getting the strikeout to begin the frame, he's given up the base hit and the free pass.
75 pitches for Hunter Dietz. 33 balls.
3 walks, a hit batter.
And a guy that you don't want to come up to the plate with runners on base.
Yeah, I would think this would be the last guy you want to see. And Lawson has singled and walked. So yesterday was on base 3 times. Remember,
I do give you a veteran's discount, Shane. It's absolutely free.
The conference in OPS, and you should when you're second and
it
slugging your
costs
first
you
and
nothing
on
to
base.
be here. And it will never cost you anything to be here.
That OPS yesterday was at 1476. That's in a different stratosphere.
Yeah, that's just absolutely crazy video game type numbers. The outfielders for Arkansas playing very deep with the power of Lawson.
That very upright stance, hands begin above his helmet, takes a strike.
Yeah, I don't think Lawson's going to see
That's the
anything
cutter,
straight
sir.
in this at bat. I think it's just going to be cutter after cutter. Now you're going to see this one start down the middle and break down and away.
The 1-2.
There you
Inside
go.
corner, strike 3 call. Came back with the cutter.
You did. That's right,
That's
Sean.
To the lefty.
That's 88
But
miles
that's like
an
you
hour.
did for your country,
And
though. It's
again,
voluntary.
Lawson thinks it's almost going to hit his elbow. I mean, you can see him kind of
And
rolling
always
into it like
appreciate
he's
it,
going to
sir.
take that one for the team.
Front door cutter to the lefty.
Yeah, I don't think that was where it's supposed to go, but the result was good. There's that breaking ball that just fades up to that left-hand side.
Old man from New Jersey.
Surwicks hit a couple of ground
Welcome.
balls to the left side. 1 to third, 1 to short. That's down and in again. There have been some times in this series, and I think we saw it last night with Peterson, and maybe at times Arkansas was hoping with Gackle, where you have a hitter and you finish him off and you think, well, there they go, and then all of a sudden they're putting balls in the dirt and they're fighting it a bit for the next 3 or 4 pitches.
Yeah, I think that's really a good point. I think if you're Hunter Dietz right here, you took down
Still
Brendan
at
Lawson.
96,
You really kind of
82
amped up
pitches.
for that, and you don't want to let Surwick get away with the pitch just kind of over the middle of the heart of the plate, because he's going to hurt you if you do.
Remember back in the second where Dietz had the strikeout to Schwartz with the bases loaded for the second out. Next pitch, Kyle Jones stepped in, single to center field, and it was
That's
2-0 Gators.
That's right. You kind of have that mental letdown after you get the guy that's the other team's best hitter.
2-2. Hard on the ground again to Shorts. Kosho
job.
flips to Souza. Gators couple of base runners aboard, but left them there, and it's a 1-run Arkansas.
Let's get some more now. That's a sign of a good pitcher when you know Hunter. He's not got his A+ stuff today, but he's battling through every inning and he's keeping us in the ball game, eating up innings because our bullpen needs a little bit of help. So he's doing what he needs to do. It don't look pretty. It don't look pretty all the time, is what I'm trying to say.
Picks up the baseball and tags him again. And then the sac fly by Ryder Helfrich to right field. Pretty good throw right here by Wilson. Nice swipe tag,
I'll
but
see what
just
I can
does
do,
not
B-Hall.
touch Ruiz. And that was the second run of the inning. They got 3 in that inning. Excuse me, 2.
2 to take a 3-2 lead, and Aiden King just cruised through
Yeah,
the first
Reese's
5
still
batters.
throwing
Arkansas
heat.
had a couple
97, absolutely.
seeing eye singles in the second, and then
Xander,
a little
absolutely.
more traffic to contend with in the third. So it'll be Souza, Robinette, and Aloy in the fourth. Souza singled and scored in the second. He hit one off the end of his bat, 61 miles an hour against the shift down the line and under the glove of Schwartz. So Souza, one of a couple of Hawaiians in the lineup today for Arkansas. Nolan said his family is okay from the flooding on Oahu, more for the northern part of that island than the south, but they've gone through their fair share of some disasters here in the last couple of weeks. Two-strike pitch to Souza. He will cut and miss. So
and he had to swing at that because that
carving to start
bogus ass strike. The pitch
Boy,
before.
He just never let Nolan Souza get comfortable, and then threw that backdoor breaking ball right there, or back foot breaking ball. That's how you pitch right there.
Well, he came out with some conviction this inning, it looked like.
Asia, what's up, buddy?
Hat's still not on straight yet, but that's okay. 3 Gators on the right side of the diamond. Robinette hit a big chopper that bounded by Curlin to produce a run in the second.
Sometimes you can just look at players' body language, and King just kind of came out and said, I'm going to shove this inning right now.
I would tend to
put
agree.
it to you.
It was low, Bobby.
And he's at that point where you feel like this outing can go one way or another.
That's why he swung
for
at
him.
that third one, because he had to protect the bottom of the zone.
He's just pumping strikes. Robinette would not chase there 0-2. Gators shifting almost between every pitch this sequence. They got somebody in motion like it's a linebacker getting ready to blitz or a safety creeping up to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they shifted Lawson and Schwartz.
It's
right,
like
right in the middle of the pitch.
It's
too.
like the Nebraska Cornhuskers realizing they only have 4 players on the court and they're trying to run somebody on late. He's coming down the sideline. Robinette will shoot one down the line and left and out of play.
You almost feel like it's hockey when you've got when they're changing players.
Someone's jumping over the boards.
Yeah, coming in late.
Two and two to Robinette. Hard hit, but into the shift, and Curlin will scoop it back on the grass and throw out Robinette. He hit that one much harder than the previous one, but that time he was retired, and there's 2 gone for Kahio Aloy. So we were talking about Kahio when he batted his last time in, and he bounced out to third. He started the year on a 12-game hitting streak. Since then, I think he's 5 for 40. We've seen signs. It was that 450-foot homer he had at South Carolina that just quite frankly disappeared in the trees. But it's been a little bit, I'm sure, frustrating for Kahio in the sense that, even though he's in the lineup today, he's batting 8th, because this was a guy who drove in 70 runs a year ago.
Yeah, I think that what you need to look for when Kahio Aloy is on, a lot of balls hit hard up the middle to right center field.
He was concentrating in BP on doing just that. I think he was trying to drop and drive at launch. And listen, he has a violent swing. When he makes contact, he hits the ball harder than anybody else. And I know you're trying to do some damage. Sometimes it's hard from an approach standpoint to think, let me shoot one to right center.
Kind of trying to dial back that aggression.
But he's going to poke one into right for a base hit, and that's what I think Arkansas wanted to see. Down in the count, go with the pitch, take the base hit. We'll see if that might be something that could kickstart a nice run for Kahio.
Yeah, what you're having to do is let that ball travel a little deeper in the strike zone. Just trust your hands, and like you said, hit the ball where it's pitched. And when you can hit the ball as hard as he does, like you said, it's so hard.
Yeah,
not
that's why I like to see
you
that.
Feel like 95% of Kahio is more than anybody else.
Right. When you can hit a golf ball 400 yards, you can hit a baseball in the mid-1 teens.
And here's Rutenbar. And again, not to go too crazy on BP, just watching Susie yesterday and Kahio today and Rutenbar. He's a freshman, but he has a professional approach when he's getting ready for a game.
Yeah, he really does. Really hits the ball to all fields and line drives, ground balls.
Homered back on Tuesday as first as a Razorback and fouls this one away into the well-populated stands here at Baum-Walker. Tell you what, they're packed in today. Yesterday was cold and it just didn't have the normal feeling, but they're back today, and they'd really get loud if Arkansas could chase Aiden King. That's faded down and out. Cahillo got a good break on a delayed steal. And with the left-handed hitter up there, I think Cahillo just did that hop-hop-go maneuver, and Bowen didn't have a chance.
Yeah, Deja.
Yeah, that's where your first baseman's really got to help
Aloy
out
is
that
DH
catcher,
and
you can see Bowen's
Root is on first,
and
and
that's what had that caused that throw to kind of
Reese
sail
is
on
on
him, 'cause
third.
he had to try to rush that arm speed through the throw.
We got 2 defensive catchers in this series, and if there have been 7 throws to second base, 6 have tailed way to the right. Hitters count for Rutenbar 3-1. Top of the lineup, Damian Ruiz on deck. King had a couple of quick outs this frame before the Aloy single. And that's high. That's ball 4.
Again, second walk for Carter Rutenbar.
And again, this is a freshman facing one of the top pitchers in this sophomore class.
Yeah, I think so. That is a really good at-bat, and that's going to bring O'Sullivan out, and he's going to make a pitching change.
75 on the pitch count for Aiden King. The Gators used 3 different relievers yesterday. They'll go to the pen with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. So neither Peterson or King got beyond 4 innings. He started this inning with a couple of quick outs, but Arkansas put some base runners aboard. King will step out. We'll be back with the news.
New pitcher coming in. Now we chased him early. That's what we like to see. Deja, we'll take anything right now, bro.
Barry's 6'4", 205. How about this? His fastball is going to sit between 97 and 100.
All right.
So giddy up, slider in the mid to upper 80s. How about a changeup from 89 to 92? That's bringing it.
Tell you what, they bring some arms out of that bullpen.
They really do. Opponent's hitting 154 off of the big right-hander.
And he's going to inherit a couple of base runners with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Arkansas leading by a run. Razorbacks are hoping Saturdays are for the Hogs because, again, with Florida winning last night, Arkansas does not lose series often at home. Last year, again, 4 home losses all season. Last night, Florida's victory gave Arkansas their 6th.
Yeah, that's pretty shocking so early in the season. And we talked earlier about the scuffles on some of those midweek games that Arkansas has had, non-con games. But they're kind of in a position you got a guy like Aiden King out of the game, and you feel like you can exhale a little bit. And then you've got Jackson Barberry going to come in and throw almost triple digits at you.
Here's Ruiz. A single and scored last inning. Takes a firm fastball at 97 for strike 1. We've been talking all series about how Florida plays their outfitters a little bit differently. It just seems like it doesn't matter what the team is. It's about playing deep and maybe robbing some balls on the warning track. keeping balls in front of you. It seems like they're more intent on having a chance to throw out a runner if a ball gets to them quickly.
Or even stealing the line drive like the ball that Zach Stewart hit. Well, that's tough when you throw almost 100, then you snap off a really nasty slider like that one.
That's really not fair. See what he does, 1 and 2. That fades down and in and misses.
Well, a couple pitches before that one, Bowen did a nice job on picking a ball in the dirt. And just so much different having runners at first and second with 2 outs instead of second and third with 2 outs.
He's done that a couple of times already this series. Next one to Ruiz, fouled off his foot as it ricochets out towards short. Barberry from Snellville, Georgia. A year ago had 20 games as a freshman, including 5 midweek starts at an ERA of 4.45. So this is a guy, again, who has been one of those sophomores that's taken a step forward, benefiting from the experience a season ago. And that's painted on the outside corner at 99 mph. Troy the K ends the inning and strands a couple of hogs.
Yeah, what a great pitch. That was actually 100 on track, man. What a perfect spot right there. You just can't throw it any better. Ruiz says, I can't hit that ball. He's exactly right.
You can't hit that ball because it was outside by about 2 baseballs.
So Jack Caglione off the WBC. The Royals are represented. Brady Singer now a Cincinnati Red. So there's Gators everywhere on these MLB rosters, and the Razorbacks, they are not far behind, even though Heston Kjerstad is somebody who is going to start on the IL. But Ryan Stanek even got a save the other day for the Cardinals. We've got some future pros in this game, including Dietz. He's going to face Carson Bowen to lead off the 5th inning and fades one down and in. Well, Jalen Beeks signed late, but he got a job with the Rangers. Benintendi, Kjerstad, McCann, Peyton Paulette, congratulations to him. A Rule 5 pick from the White Sox, and Ryan Stanek got the save the other day for St. Louis.
Boy, I tell you what, there's some big-time talent, and especially on the mound for both those ball clubs.
Yeah, I would agree.
You're welcome, Pastor Maurice. Appreciate you being here.
Gators did a nice note in their game notes. You're talking about the MLB draft picks since '08 in SEC schools. And Vanderbilt, Arkansas are at the top. Florida's not far behind. And that's ball 4. Troy, does feel like there's a pretty direct correlation when you look over a long period of time, say the number of players you have taken in the draft and the number of times you're in Omaha or putting up 40-plus wins.
You're exactly right. And boy, this is going to do it for Hunter Dietz. That's not what DVH wanted to see right there. So they've got Steele Eaves hot in the bullpen.
Well, the starters having a hard time getting to 5 innings in this series. We haven't seen one yet. Leadoff walk to Carson Bowen in the 5th. DVH is going to make a pitching change. Dietz will get a nice ovation for his 4+ innings, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Be back with the new Razorback pitcher right after this.
Guys, give me just a second. I'm trying to wolf down a sandwich, and so I'm muted, so you guys don't have to hear that. As long as Eves comes in and keeps the ball down, we'll be all right.
One earned, did have a walk and a strikeout. Faced 5 batters, did steal Eves again.
DVH has said a couple of times he would pitch as often as you called upon him to do so. That's being thrown into play.
Some guys just have that ability to bounce back after the next day. The soreness is just at a different level. I think that Steele Eves is one of those guys.
Well, Blake Sayre, the batter, he doubled and scored in the second. It looked like he had a bunt hit in the 3rd inning, but he hit the wrong base. He hit the white base rather than the green base, and he was out. It did advance the runner. SEC requires green bases only. I think the ACC, they use the orange. So that's one of those times you'd like to go down there mid-game and say, what happened? What was going on? But Arkansas would take it. Did we just have a balk?
I think that's a balk right there by Steele Eves. I don't think he came set. I think he just kind of rolled through that like sometimes you do on the stop signs.
Okay. Well, it's spring break week. They might ticket you here. Let's see this again. He stopped, but not very long.
That was.
I would tell officer, listen, I kind of stopped, just not very long. Blake Sayre takes a strike at 94 from Eves. I think maybe the hope is, Troy, with Eves, is he is a ground ball pitcher, and maybe he can come in and get a couple of balls that might not have some carry to them, although, of course, that balk takes a double play out of effect. And the count 2-1.
Yeah, the funny thing is it almost looks like Eves is overthrowing a little bit, and so the natural sink that he normally has, he's kind of throwing through that sink.
I think you're onto something. Bunt that has popped up, and Eves will make the catch. And Sayre would like to have that one back.
You don't see the pop up to the pitcher very often.
Boy, that's one of those you'll wake up in the middle of the night 2 weeks from now, and you're like, that stinking at bat that I had against Eves when I popped up a bunt, gave him an easy out. Still sitting with him. Curlin hits a hard one, hopper by Kojal into left center field. Bowen will turn third. The catcher is going to try to score, and he's going to make it. Arkansas took a long time to play that one back in. And the Gators have tied up the game on the Cade Curlin single. Just his 2nd hit in the SEC all season.
Well, Brett, this thing had a lot of top spin on it, and it was absolutely smoked. 101 off the bat. Got past Kojal out there, but watch Ruiz bobble this ball. He does not come up with it cleanly, and that allowed Bowen, the catcher, to score standing up. And, boy, that is a big miscue by Ruiz out there in the outfield. I don't think that Bowen scores because he was kind of going back towards second base because he didn't know if Kojal was going to catch that ball in the air or not.
Because of that, because it was the catcher running, had Ruiz been able to get there quickly and play it back in, he might have held him.
Well, how big is that balk right now? Because he'd probably be standing on second base instead of scoring.
The Gators have gotten this back to even. Stanford's 0 for 2. Think of the big bad SEC. It's like we've gone back in time. We're bunting and we're getting singles and trying to get 2 runs on one single in an inning.
It would be different if the wind's blowing in like 40 miles an hour,
Right.
but it's really not. Here's a big shocker for you, Brett. How about a walk comes around to score for the Gators?
Yeah, stunner.
Had 5 yesterday.
That never happens.
They've already had 2 today. That's 7 runs scored on walks by Arkansas pitching.
Next pitch from Eves, lifted to left and hit well. Ruiz will only watch, and this one flies into the seats beyond the bullpen.
I just said it.
Cole Stanford
Before you
got
come
one
out
up
here,
and out
you
in
got
a
to
blink
keep
of an
that ball
eye.
down.
405 feet, and the Gators have regained the lead. And Stanford just stood at home plate and admired. He knew there was no chance that ball would stay in play.
It's back-to-back games.
Jumped out of here quickly.
Well, it came in at 93 and went out at 105. And watch Stanford.
Look,
he's just going
right
to
down the
admire
middle.
that one just a little bit. I don't blame him. That just had a different sound off the bat.
You can't do that.
As soon as you start talking about the balks
He
and
doesn't.
the bunts and the singles, then all of a sudden,
because he's
Gators
throwing the
get
ball
into
right.
one with
That's why,
Cole
Bill,
Stanford.
he threw the ball right down the middle.
Remember, yesterday, Surwick had a homer, but then Bowen had a 2-run shot for 3 of their runs. So it was either homers or free base runners. We've seen
Other
that play
opponents
out here in the 5th inning.
don't miss those pitches that we
3-2
pitch right
Arkansas
down the
lead
middle.
Has evaporated.
They put the bat on
And
the ball.
Ashton Wilson
We swing through that kind
hits
of
a
stuff
screamer
right now anyway.
over towards the side fence.
Excuse me. I don't know that it was a bad pitch call, Jason. It's just a bad placement. And then you compound it with just hitting a batter like that. Come on.
Yeah, he really hasn't. And you kind of talked about how's he going to do off that back-to-back game.
That's just
pitching
straight
and
doo-doo, boys.
finding out pretty quickly right now.
Emotional damage.
An hour hit by pitch.
Why are you playing with my emotions, Smokey?
At him.
Well, there was the block. The popped-up bunt helped out from Sear, but then Curlin singled. Stanford had the
It doesn't
2-run
matter if
homer.
we throw 100,
Wilson
Ashton.
was
If
hit
you
by
don't know
the
where
pitch.
it's going or you can't place it.
And it's the one area that Arkansas has not been in from a pressure standpoint in recent weeks, is having to use so many pitchers out of the bullpen beyond Gibbler as they did last night.
You know, and then if you're Arkansas, you're trying to figure out, okay, who do we go to and who do we try to save for tomorrow's game? You don't feel like this game's getting away from you, but still you have to keep that in the back of your mind.
All right, I feel much better now. Got some food in me. Still tired as I'll get
Here's
out,
Colton
but
Schwartz.
at least I'm not hungry now.
And Eves pumps one down and out after the mound visit from Matt Hogs.
Pooh Bear, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Gators led 2-0. Hogs battle back for a 3-2
Yeah,
lead.
Ashton, you're right. We
Florida
don't
has played
have.
in
We got
3
one that I
runs
think
in
touched
this run.
99, but we ain't got no 100-mile-an-hour throwers that I know of.
Eves pops the glove for a strike at the knees.
That's where you need to live, right there.
Kind of a bluff steal over there by Wilson. Not a bad opportunity to take a chance right
Or
here.
you go high in the zone,
This
but
runner
not
in
down the
motion,
middle.
Stay out of the double play.
There's a ground ball to third. Fielded by Robinette. Throws to second for one. On to first.
Oh.
Rutenbar didn't catch the ball cleanly. Not sure if that throw was low from Sousa or whether Carter just didn't secure it, trying to stretch and go get that ball.
I tell you what.
But that would have ended
Oh,
the inning.
Reese doesn't
and the
play a
Gators
bad third
remain
base
alive.
either,
Let's see it
for as
again.
big as he is.
Yeah, really good job by Robinette and a good feed to Souza. Not a strong throw by Souza over to first base, and that's a ball that Rutenbar's just he has.
Rutenbar just missed that one. That's all right, Root. You're due for one.
Here's Kyle Jones. Takes strike one. He had a 2-run single in the second inning.
That's where you need to
Remember,
be used,
Rutenbar,
right there.
Kind of a utility guy in high school, but he was a catcher first, then
Jason,
a third baseman, then
appreciate
a
you
first baseman.
subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the SAR Squad.
He knew he was going to have to fight his way into the lineup in different positions. So not a ton of first base experience at this level. But this inning isn't over, and the Gators could make Arkansas pay for that if they tack on any more tallies.
Well, one thing it did, it's
Dub, good to see you, buddy.
Steele Eves throw more pitches.
It's never a bad time to get
so far,
in with the Sarge.
Black, the knees for Jones.
That's a wave of a miss. So Eves quickly to end the inning. But the Gators score 3, 2 on the homer from Stanford, and Arkansas running uphill again, halfway done today. Surely.
We're about 30 degrees south of where you would like it.
Yes, true. But Arkansas gave up that 3 spot
Absolutely,
on the top
Pooh
of the
Bear.
inning, so now it's Kosher.
No, he's DHing today, Pooh Bear.
Against Barberi, who came on to K. Ruiz and strand a couple of runners in the 4th. Kosher had a bunt hit in the 3rd. He's also rolled out to first base.
Yeah, and he's got I think he's 1 for 2.
Arkansas has struck out 4 times today, meaning they've struck out 20 times so far in the series. Every starter yesterday struck out at least once.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
It's down, and again, you understand that some of the stuff they've seen from these Florida pitchers, high velocity, big break, been pretty impressive.
Ruiz bottom of the 5th, winning him to 300 likes.
Gigantic hole
Woo.
on that left-hand side.
There's a chopper that'll easily be handled, and Kolsch will retire to begin the bottom of the 5th, and there's 1 out.
No worries, Pooh Bear. We got you,
Really
brother.
good positioning right there by the Gators. And I would be shocked if college baseball, at least the SEC, is next year is a rule change year, which means every other year.
Yeah, that's tough to hear right there, Pooh.
I think they're going to go with no shift.
Pooh Bear, 20 strikeouts.
I think at least keep a shortstop or second baseman directly behind the bag up the middle, so you don't get 3 on one side. Helfrich will roll 1 to short, and he's retired. A couple of ground ball outs in the 5th. You know, as much as these college players have almost served as the training ground for some minor leaguers, whenever the rules get too different between
Yes, I did, Sean, and I shouted them out. Did you not hear me?
One needs to
Did it not come through?
Usually it's the college game.
Yeah, I agree.
Madeline, if
you know, you think about last night,
the shout out didn't come through, let me know.
Strikeouts. That would have been a game, though, say a couple of years ago.
I did give a shout out to Madeline's
the rule
husband.
changes or all these offensive timeouts. That 3-hour, 12-minute game would have been about a 4-hour game last night.
Completely agree. Yeah, that was a no-doubter. It's the pitch clock has really kind of picked things up. Even like these offensive timeouts have a timer on it. It just expired right there, and that's why home plate umpire Richard Riley was going over to Zach Stewart saying, "Okay, son, it's time for you to hit."
And they just wanted to slow Barberry down a bit after 2 soft ground outs. Zach Stewart.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart move, and it allows Zach Stewart not to have to take a fastball right down the middle right here.
No, I completely understand that. You know, in the old days,
appreciate
you
Sean.
got to take a pitch. You got to.
It didn't go. It didn't come. Okay, I got you, Madeline, at the commercial break.
An extra couple of minutes in the dugout. Zach was robbed of a hit by Wilson with a diving catch in the 3rd inning, and that was an inning in which Arkansas scored a couple of runs. So if that play wasn't made, it would have been much more than that.
Yeah, I think so. There's been some really good defensive plays, and Florida's trying to switch infielders to put Lawson back into that shortstop position. I'm not really sure why they don't just start that way.
Sometimes as I'm just watching,
this skinny dude's got a little movement on his pitches.
Kind of out of your periphery, there's just guys in motion, like the wide receivers going back and forth, like the Sarkeesian passing game where you got to
crisscross,
have somebody moving at all times and hit them in stride, and that one's fouled back by Stewart.
It's a possibility, Ashton.
About 99 on TrackMan on the last fastball.
Absolutely, I do, Sean. Especially if it's military veteran.
It just seems like it's an easy
first responders.
I would tend to agree. Here's the payoff pitch, and that one is.
Mine was a 19 kilo, Madeline.
Zerwick.
I was a tank commander.
That's another one that was 99 on Argon, 100 on TrackMan. So he's registering triple digits.
Sometimes you hear
and Madeline, if you'll put his name back in the comments right here again,
seem like max effort
or I can try to scroll back up through and find it.
Pitch on the outside corner, strike 3 call. Hogs go quickly.
Let me just see if I can scroll up and find it real quick here. Yeah, I can. All right. So here's a shout out from Madeline to her husband, Logan Delaney. He's an Air Force pilot. Sarge, salute you, sir, and hope you stay safe out there. And I would love to know what you fly. And I guarantee you Madeline loves you a lot. So stay safe, brother. We love you. Deja, no, I do not. Okay, he's a KC-46. Oh, okay. Did you get it that time, Madeline? Hope I did some justice for you. I don't get requests to do shout out very often like that, so I got to perfect that craft a little bit. Well, Ashton, would you agree that he's probably seeing better pitching than he did at Missouri State for the most part? So he may have to adjust a little bit. Oh, you're welcome, madam.
Would you have to?
To be honest, if you want to know what
go for a walk,
I think you just got
one of my favorite movies is.
There's not a whole lot of room to do any shifting out there in the hog pen. It's pretty packed.
Indeed, those fans
Top
got
Gun.
really lined up. When I got to the park 3 hours before the game, they were.
I always wanted
street,
to be
and then it's the race to get
a
those
pilot.
best seats in the hog pen, and
but I wasn't smart enough.
you need a hat on that youngster as well. Meanwhile, the Hogs have gone to the bullpen, bringing on Cooper Dossett. He becomes pitcher number 3 in the game.
And we talked about the velocity.
Yeah, no, I agree, Ashton. I wasn't making excuses for him.
Cooper Dossett will run that fastball up to
that was just a statement from
an hour as well. And
that, but I understand what you're saying
there. He's coming off of a couple of years of injury, so he's a guy that Arkansas would really like to have a lot of success and maybe even turn into
absolutely
a closer
Pooh
late
Bear.
in the season.
much respect for all the POWs and MIAs.
No wind and pitch and miss. Oh, he did get it in there for a strike to Lawson, who
Why is this?
has walked and
stop.
singled, and he out back in
Get
the
off
fourth.
the screen.
I think
People
almost
don't want to
hit
see that
Lawson in
black
the elbow. I mean, he was really
you.
leaning out over that plate.
I think I've seen that once,
from his
Jason.
Stance of Brendan Lawson. I've been working on it for a day, and you see a lot of left-handed hitters who are upright. You see some hitters that start with their hands high. I mean, Counsell was the guy who started with his hands extremely high, but a very different body type than Lawson. It looks like he's
Hey,
a
Quentin,
grown man.
that's the point, brother. I pay so you don't have
way
to.
back in the day, remember old Sadahara?
Appreciate you
Ode
being here,
in the
man.
Japanese league.
I think you've discovered it.
Kind of lands way high and hit bombs.
Now, he had the big old leg kick, if I remember,
Yeah,
against
he did.
Sadahara, but
Showing my age on that comment right there.
Can of
Lawson
corn.
skies one in the air to center. Mike Anu gliding in, twisting and turning a bit. He'll make the catch, and there's one out. You think about these two programs, Troy, and we've talked about their success. The two head coaches, Sully and DVH, pretty good friends. I think they respect each other. Obviously, they both do a great job recruiting young talent. They've both been active in the portal. There was a no-hitter last weekend in Alabama, and Rob Vaughn of Alabama said something after the game that I apply to these teams, but in a different manner. Because he talked about the kid, Faye, who threw the no-hitter and how he's gotten better. And he said in Alabama's program, they talk a lot about hope versus expectation and the difference between those two things. In other words, you might say to a kid, what do you want to do? I want to be an All-American. All right. Is that your expectation? Well, no, okay, what is hope and what is expectation? I think with these two programs, hope and expectation sometimes are the same thing. They go into a year thinking, well, it's Omaha.
Yep.
And then you have a series like Florida did at Alabama, or maybe
Probably has something to do with that
Arkansas
hitting
had against
coach,
Florida.
Arkansas.
And that expectation looks a little different. You never lose the hope, and the expectation doesn't change much. But I think both of these teams are kind of finding the difference between one or the other and how good they can be once we get another month in.
Yeah, I think that's the last thing you said was the key. There's still plenty of baseball left to play, and you've got time to kind of brush off the edges and kind of smooth things out.
That's one of the best series of all time, Razorback Kid. I love the Landman.
Is there on both of these ball clubs, and the depth is there as well. So I think either one of these teams definitely have the ability to get on a heater and really start rolling the second half of this conference season.
I do too. Surowick waits on the 2-2 pitch, and he will wave and miss. And
he
Dawson
got away
gets
with
the
that
K,
one.
And there's two outs. But I think you understand.
You got away with two
what
of
I'm
them.
saying.
Right.
There have been stretches where both of these programs
Yeah,
have
you
not
bet,
looked
Nevada.
Gator-like or Razorback-like at brief times this year.
Right. Well, the thing I think that both of these teams
I've been
is
to it 3
tremendous
times.
pitching. And if you can kind of shut down some other teams, you can scratch out some wins with some 2-1, 3-2, 4-3 victories.
I think you could. And here's Bowen, who walked and scored in the 5th. And listen, it's a different world right now in college baseball. LSU loses last night to Kentucky. So Kentucky's 5-2. LSU is 2-5. So they're on the reverse end of that number, the reciprocal. And I know right there they're scratching their heads a bit in Baton Rouge, thinking that they had kind of the consistency of a program like these two that we're talking about, where every year, no matter what happens from a talent standpoint, the wins and losses appear the same.
Well,
but,
Sean, I feel
but that's
honored.
looked different this year.
Yeah, it really has. And what about Auburn? Alabama beat Auburn. Auburn's ranked 5th. Alabama's kind of on a roll after sweeping the Gators last weekend.
Bowen takes, and that's low. 2 balls and a strike.
And if you're, kind of shaking the dice up and rolling them, you would probably not roll Alabama beating the 5th-ranked team in the country very often. But well, this year's kind of had everything upside down.
There's a little bit of that. That's tomahawked on the ground to short. Kojal's been busy. Flips one to first. Cooper Dawson comes on and has a perfect 6th inning. Razorbacks still have some work to do offensively. Trailing the.
Let's go hit, boys.
Barry has come on and quieted things down after Florida regained the lead with 3 runs in the 5th inning. But Troy, he's faced 4 batters, retired 4, and struck out 2.
Yeah, he's looked really good and effortless with that velocity. The slider's been tight and really kind of buckled the knees so far, these Razorback hitters.
Yeah.
New Souza and Robinette this inning.
You know she's the
I mentioned his father, Stephen, came
quarterback's
from
girlfriend from Friday Night Lights. Or is it Friday Night Lights or is it
from Pennsylvania, the Mechanicsburg area?
It's the one with Buck Kilmer.
See Micah play.
She's a cheerleader,
but he's quickly down in the count. Nothing in.
She never got out of Texas like she wanted to.
Flown out to center and lined softly to first here this afternoon. Had a multi-hit game yesterday.
I can't believe I can't remember the name of that.
Arkansas
movie.
didn't have enough of those.
Boy, how about 3 just really sharp, nasty sliders by Barberry?
You know, Troy, he threw 3 innings midweek against Florida State and gave up just 1 hit and struck out 6. And that is fouled into the glove of Bowen for strike 3. So I don't know.
Sean, just do like I do. I only read the positive ones.
Or whether that might be a lot considering what he did against
Varsity Blues. That's it, Saps. Thank you very much.
Sharp.
27 under plus spin on that pitch.
I think Arkansas's left-handers are going to have to try to take advantage of getting that tight slider coming in toward them instead of diving down and away.
Nolan Souza singled and scored. Takes ball 1 from Barberry.
It almost looked like more like a curveball.
It had a different shape to it, didn't it?
Yeah, a little more round, a little more loop on it. There's another one.
Yeah,
right there.
Nevada.
Came back with
Absolutely.
83. I think the tight slider is 86.
I like his
87.
movies.
It's pumping strikes regardless. There's the fastball at 98 and fouled back by Nolan Souza. The Gators shifting their infielders again.
Yeah, Gail.
A little bit easier to do that sometimes with 2 strikes, but again, it looks different. There's a wave and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Bowen will have to bend into the field of play to throw to first to complete the strikeout of Souza. Oh, he's dominating right now.
Boy, he really is, and really mixing things up. And I don't think anybody's looked comfortable at the plate against Barberry.
I tend
so
to agree.
Far. Yeah. That one was
last weekend against Alabama, though, he threw an inning
masterpiece,
and 2/3, gave up
Nevada.
3 hits, couple of runs, couple of walks. But sharp against Florida State, really good today. And Robinette takes a pitch downstairs.
Almost seems like he's throwing something like more like a curve to left-handers and the slider to the righties.
Rolled in for a strike again. He's really leaning, though, if that is a curve to those left-handers.
Bad Santa was another good one, too, Nevada.
Then he's got 99 in that back pocket whenever he wants to break it out.
That'll keep you off balance, won't it? 16, 17 mile an hour difference.
Big swing at a high fastball, and Robinette fouled it straight back to the screen. Arkansas began this weekend 10th in the SEC in batting average, tied for 6th in home runs. That's hard hit. Diving stop by Surowick. He will flip to Barberry covering in time for the outs. It looked like maybe Reese might roll one between those 3 infielders. Instead, it's
Reese ain't rolling nothing in between anybody right now. He's just got bad luck. That dude hitting the ball hard. can't hear me because I'm muted. Thanks, Nevada. What I was saying is, at some point, Dave Van Horn needs to either take control of this and tell Toxic, hey, go sit down. And if not, somebody needs to find a pink slip in their office when they get done. Because he has not got these guys ready to hit at all.
To A&M, and that game came with a bit of an asterisk. And before that, you have to go back to 2022 against Vanderbilt. And the last time Arkansas was swept in a home conference series was May of 2016 against Alabama.
Sean, it's definitely my likes and the views definitely hinge on how the Hogs play. When the Hogs play bad, my views and my likes are down almost 2,000 views and
last year. You know, Arkansas again
250, sometimes almost 300 likes.
A&M was a bit out of the ordinary, but that was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series.
5-3 Robert, Florida.
Not making excuses, but explanation. Arkansas was on the road. They come home. They play Thursday, Friday, Saturday because of weather that was coming in that never came in. Imagine that. They ended up playing 2 games on Friday. The series was over by Friday night.
Yeah, that's really tough, and it's so hard to win both games of a doubleheader. I don't care who you're playing, or it's just
we
really
still need somebody else to
bounce back after.
We need a bona fide dude.
Chase Laviolette kept hitting balls off the scoreboard
in the middle.
It doesn't help.
It did not
7-2.
help at all. That pitch is downstairs 2-2, but it was
280
weird to be done with
pound
an SEC series
beast.
on Friday night when in reality that's normally when you're kind of getting through game 1.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
But that was a series loss. The Gators, after winning last night, leading
does,
late
Sean.
today.
They both go hand in
And
hand.
I think what takes a little bit of, again, hope, there's that word out of Arkansas, is just how good Florida's pitched at times.
Yeah, they've been pretty scary on the mound.
One thing is for sure, I know the Razorbacks don't want to see the Gators out of this lead. Here's a payoff pitch, and that's down. That is ball 4. And the Gators have a freebie to begin the top of the 7th inning.
We've talked about how many free base runners have come around to score a pair in this game for the Gators. 5 yesterday.
Cade Curlin had the RBI single a couple of innings ago that tied up the game at 3, and the next batter was Cole Stanford. He hit the 2-run homer to make it this 5-3 current score.
I think that was a gift right there to Cooper Dossett.
It's been Dietz, Eves, and Dossett, the trio of pitchers used by the Razorbacks.
Does it seem like that with
Ashton, I think that was
whatever
a calculated
whatever
comment.
you were going to say yes.
That is motion.
If you know what I'm talking
trying
about.
to speed it up to get to the plate quicker, and it just seems like that the delivery's rushed. It's like he's got that high knee to the chest, almost kind of like a Nolan Ryan type move.
I'm not going to retract my answer, but I am going to now focus on that for a couple of pitches.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it's rushed a little bit.
It's twitching.
And now he's throwing everything high.
It's almost like you're in a hurry to get down with that leg kick so that you can get downhill.
And you're just not getting, almost like the stride is getting cut short a little bit.
Dossett did not pitch last week against South Carolina. Off and running goes Sear, but he slammed on the brakes, and now the Hogs have him in a potential rundown. Rutenbar to Souza. Did he apply the tag? He did. Our base umpire was trucked by Rutenbar, which complicated matters just a bit for James Millsap. Did he just slam on the brakes because he didn't have the jump he wanted?
I think so. I'm a little shocked on that. It was a high breaking ball, and it really heads that play by Helfrich, and I like how Rutenbar gave up the
guys
baseball.
are expensive,
you always want
Ashton.
to run the player back to the base they came from. You don't want to ever try to run them toward the next base.
I mean, Kentucky had $22
So
million roster, and look what that
a
got
little
them.
bit larger now, and what is the second walk of the inning?
that has kind of been the Achilles heel for Cooper Dossett so far this season. Is the stuff's been spectacular, but the command has just not been there.
So, Troy, since March 14th, he's pitched once. He threw 1 inning against Northern Colorado.
And he's gone.
Didn't pitch against South Carolina midweek. He cruised through the 6th with a perfect frame, but a couple of walks in the 7th. Arkansas lucky to have it out. DVH is going to the bullpen and bringing on his 4th pitcher of the game.
We're going to run out of arms. Going to run out of arms before the weekend's over with. We'll be throwing some freshmen in there tomorrow. We must pick another off. That's the way we get our outs. Let them get on base and then pick them off, because we can't get them out any other way.
They've done coming into play today.
Yeah, some really good numbers right there out of the Arkansas bullpen. And again, that just kind of speaks for itself. And well, they need the bullpen to shut down the Gators if they want to try to win this one. Down 2.
Kircher.
So Jackson Kircher becomes pitcher number 4.
Yeah, another big arm for Arkansas. A Little Rock native. He's going to sit mid-90s with that fastball. It's kind of a much slower rolling breaking ball.
That's a fact, Sean.
He pitched against South Carolina this past weekend, a third of an inning, 3 runs, and a walk. Had 3 scoreless prior to that against Northern Colorado. Going to get Stanford to hit the long home run that is the difference in this game in his last at bat in the 5th.
But curling over at first base.
Yeah, don't help, Monster. You're
leaning
correct.
back toward first base lead. Very safe. Definitely doesn't look like he's going to be going anywhere.
Kircher closes off that stance, delivers to the plate, and misses up and out. Strikes have been infrequent here in the 7th inning.
Well, you go get Cooper
100%.
Dossett because he walked 2 guys, and then you don't want the guy that you replace him with and Kircher to walk the next guy.
There's a strike at 96.
10 minutes ago, should have been fired. Thanks, Jeff.
Kircher gets the wave and a miss at another high, hard fastball.
You'd be surprised how many people complain that I use too much AI.
You don't dare do that again after a couple of strikes in a row. Are you willing to triple up?
I think so.
Yeah, Razorback. Razor deck.
Gators have hit the Razorbacks 7-5, outscored them 5-3. Florida's left 8.
You're correct on that.
So they've had a few more chances to do some damage.
They had a few freshmen, but they had
outside corner, strike 3 called, and Troy, it feels like there's been a few ring-ups on some pitches that maybe would be a little bit out.
Not maybe,
out
dude.
Of the zone
they
like
are
that.
outside the zone, but we'll take it
right
because it was
here
our guy this time. That's outside.
By the hitter. Cole Stanford definitely did not like that pitch. He took that one, and then all of a sudden it's like, what?
But you guys ain't bitching about it when Florida does it to us, are you?
Body language.
I wish I could mute you.
Well, Kircher will take it. Ashton Wilson next in.
Cade Curlin over at first base is 0 for 1 in stolen bases on the season. I don't believe he's going anywhere.
Stop from Helfrich. Remember, Wilson didn't start the game. Strayer did. He was hit by a pitch on his wrist or his hand in the second. And then Wilson was hit by a pitch in the fifth.
Wilson's felt a little bit better. That was a 80-mile-an-hour
not for us,
rolling
Reese.
breaking ball.
That's
Right
the first time we've got that call.
Good pitch from Kircher for a strike. Working
Now
the
he's
bottom
been
of the
calling
zone.
that one all day, for sure. That low strike.
Well, the Arkansas outfielders are playing tremendously deep with 2 outs. You want to keep everything in front of you. You don't want that ball to be a double and let that run score from first.
Kircher struck out Stanford. Flips to first again. I'm with you. Curlin's not going anywhere, but he's gone over there a few times. I don't know if that's just a reset.
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, just every time you throw over there, there's a chance of throwing that baseball away.
Would you have a hard time picking up the baseball
That should have
from
been. He
Kircher,
should have rung you.
considering it's almost
That
like
should have been
he's
strike
staring
two right
right
there.
at Robinette the way he closes off
Kircher's
that stance?
pitching,
I'm trying
Bill.
to watch him from directly behind home plate. Feels like it takes me a while to see the ball come out of his glove or out of his hand.
Yeah, it's almost like a right-handed Cole Gibbler. Really does a good job of hiding that baseball. But you're right, and he's a big-body guy too.
You don't even see the glove right now if you're Wilson. And then when you can pump that type of velo, it does feel like when you're trying to find the ball and he throws that fastball, you're playing catch-up.
Yeah, the arm is what you don't pick
No,
up.
we
because
want
it's hidden
mustard.
behind his body.
Is 2-2, wave and a miss. Well, Troy enters the game, swings out what batters he faces.
Really nice job by Jackson Kircher. That's what you want to have happen. Go in there, pump some strikes, and set some guys down. Give your team a chance to come to the plate and do some damage.
Come to the plate and do some damage. Let's give our. Oh, look, no AI. We'll go to here. Give our members some love now. Yeah, I think they should be graded Pacer, and if they fall below a certain grade, they should be fined. Something needs to be done like that. Yes, I can agree. Thank you to all the members on the board up there. You help make this possible. $866 of you watching and only 268 likes. Come on. Y'all can do better for Sarge. That is unacceptable. We are failing the mission, soldiers. We should be well above 300 right now. I could agree with that statement, Ashton.
Has been electric, I would say, Troy.
Boy, he really has, and he's somebody that you can almost pick him up right now the way he's throwing today and throw him in the show.
Kahio Aloy takes strike one. Don't you hope when this guy faces you that first pitch just misses to give you a little bit of a settling in period?
Well then
Thanks,
he snaps
D-Black.
off a
Appreciate you.
86-mile-an-hour slider, and if you're Kahio Aloy, you're thinking, well, that's not fair. I'm sitting on 100.
A year ago, again, he got his feet wet. I mean, that opponent's batting average pretty big, but look at the disparity now. 140 points better this season. ERA almost cut in half.
Ooh, he
Here
just
with a
missed that
mile-high
one.
pop-up. This is a big frame, though, for Arkansas. It's Aloy, Rutenbar, and Ruiz. As much as we've talked about the bottom of the lineup, Aloy and Rutenbar are better than 8 and 9 hitters, but this is the time you'd like to see them put a little pressure on Barberi.
Yeah, I think that last pitch was the one that Aloy, if he had that one
I think it
back,
had a lot to do with it,
he
Monster,
should have
yes.
hit.
I would agree.
He's probably going to get a nasty slider down and away right here.
Laid off that one. No swing from Aloy.
Much better, Aloy.
Cajillo single to right back in the 4th.
2 days ago, you could have
One
swung
of
right at
5
that.
hits today for the Razorbacks, and keep in mind yesterday they had 5 hits. That's it. That's strike 3. Another K from Barberi.
Well,
5 strikeouts.
just took a little something off that slider.
A little more loopy.
Yeah, we've seen it up to
Damian
87.
Walker
That was
with his
84.
$5 super chat. Appreciate that much. Damian says caught the last
Well, that's
inning
really
last
tough,
night and
'cause
forgot to
you
send
just
my
don't think
obligatory
that that's
super
gonna
chat.
drop down into the
Hello,
zone.
gents. Damian, we appreciate you, brother. You're a legend, good sir.
Rutenbar's walked twice, but he has not faced Barberi. He's the only hitter in this lineup that has not had the pleasure yet.
I haven't seen my boy Josh Jones in a while. Make sure
Same pitch that he struck out
But
Aloy,
anybody
right?
knows Josh
Yeah,
Jones, man.
that's
Tell him
dangerous.
sorry, just look
It
missing.
is. It's taking a little
Haven't
something
seen him
off that
in the strip. I'm stuttering like
slur, and he is just
got the tism or something.
pounding the zone with
He's
that
wearing
breaking
it out.
ball.
It's because
That's
I'm tired.
27 strikes and
But I haven't seen him in the
13 balls.
streams lately.
5 strikeouts, no walks. Big crowd here at Baum Walker, but they have been restless and a little bit quiet, more so than normal. Can't blame it on the weather today, as we did last night. Rutenbar will wave and miss. That is 6 strikeouts through 9 batters faced.
Dave Van Horn likes to say about Hunter Dietz, that's a big league pitcher right there. I think Kevin O'Sullivan says the same thing about Jackson
Yeah, Monster, I
Barberi.
think
that's a big league
we did a
pitcher
bad
right
job
there.
in
So does that mean
backloading
Arkansas struck out 26 times
when we
so
had
far in
those
the series?
guys.
That's right. That's ridiculous.
We
I mean,
missed on
TBH
some
last night in
on
his,
some
very
picks and
brief
transfers.
postgame. And that one is fisted on the ground to Lawson. Oh, bit of a bobble. And a free base runner. And the tying run
Right.
will come to the plate this inning.
Now
on
somebody
what
hit a
could have
blast and tied this game up.
and should have been the final out.
Well, sometimes you just have to put the baseball in play, and just that slow roller, 71 off
I know,
the bat,
Pacer.
and Lawson just a little bit of a miscue.
Why can't they show us a camera angle from like right behind the
DiamondHogs
pitcher
did
like
say
the major
yesterday
league
Arkansas's
cameras do?
hitters were facing some electric stuff. It feels like that is the same thing today as yesterday.
I hate this
But
angle
that 2-out air has kept the inning alive for Kojal, and there comes
because it makes
that
everything look a
slurvy
little
slider
more
again from
outside or
Barberi for
inside
strike
than what it
one.
really is than if we were looking straight from behind.
If you're Camden Kojal, you almost think you're going to have to sit on that breaking ball.
Yeah, Miss Pickett, we need a
Sit
new
up in the
hitting
zone.
coach, like something fierce.
Ruiz is going to run, got a good pitch to run on, but a strong throw from Bowen. It's not in time. Where that pitch was finishing, I didn't know if Bowen would even have a chance to make it close at second base as Ruiz gets his 8th bag of the year.
A really good throw right there.
Yeah, Pacer, you just got to adjust.
It was the
Oh,
pitch
they-
that was called a strike
They
that I
called
think
that
is
wow,
goodness
deviation.
gracious. I told you that Bowen went down low to get that one. Might have to
Of course
see
they
that one
call
again.
that a strike.
Dave stepped out on the warning track. He was screaming at Richard Riley, and that one goes to the backstop, and the wild pitch will send Ruiz to third. We're going to have to go back and see that pitch again.
Yeah, another one inside.
Wasn't as bad as what originally thought it might have been.
He was inside,
I think
homie.
Bowen jumping up maybe kind of influenced the.
Yeah, it made it look like it was lower than what it
Yep.
was.
Oh my God, these announcers. He caught that
It's
ball
1-2
under
to
his
Kojal.
kneecaps.
Did he offer? He did. That's strike 3. 7 strikeouts for Barberi in 3 1/3 innings.
Barbarian, you need to go back to Florida.
Gators have been leaning on this right-handed reliever to maintain a 2-run lead.
I would like to see that again. I don't think Kozel swung at that. We can't hit anything with any kind of break on it, Ashton, right now. We can't hit a changeup. We can't hit a curve. We can't hit a slider. We can't hit a cutter. It looks like it, Miss Vicky, because he's definitely calling that strike zone is moving wherever that ball the pitcher is, Florida pitcher's pitching it. I've seen at least 9 pitches today that we got rung up on or called a strike on that our pitchers have pitched the ball in the same spot and it was not called for us. I ain't trying to be that guy that's always blaming the referee or umpires, but Bill's got me calling them referees. But it's definitely gets one of these, as Dubzilla says.
Sheesh.
Win the game and win the series.
He said it's not even umps anymore, it's referees.
Boy, Jackson
He
Kirk
said, I give up on
cannot
calling them
give up
umps.
any
They're
runs
referees
right here.
now.
You feel like that even 2 runs is a mountain to climb with the way the Gators are pitching this baseball.
Daniel, come on.
1-2, Schwartz, Jones, and Lawson in this 8th inning. Schwartz's single came back in the 4th. The Gators got 2 of their runs on the
I know
second,
you can't
3
even say that
runs
with
in
a
the
straight
5th when
face.
they were down a run. And that's where the score is.
You were laughing the whole time you even typed that sentence.
You know, we talked about these 2 head coaches, and here comes Kevin O'Sullivan. The series is tied 39 apiece all time, but
Yeah,
Kevin
that is
O'Sullivan, the
that
Gators
is part of the
now
problem too,
21 and
Ashton. I
25
agree.
against the Razorbacks. Of the 96 teams O'Sullivan has coached against, Arkansas is the only opponent that is more than 2 games over 500 against him.
This might be an injury right here.
Oh, good Lord. Call the ambulance. You want some...
So Schwartz is going down into the dugout. And this is the second time in the game a Gator is.
Yeah, I think they pointed
walked
to
off
his
the field.
back. Man, you just hate that for the Gators.
Well, my back hurts sitting here in this chair for this many hours. You don't see me going to the
Kirtland was
dugout.
dealing with a bit of an oblique. Lawson was dealing with a little bit of a back issue as well. And,
Sorry, guys. I got to end the stream. My back hurts.
It's not a great deal of fun to have some
hell outta
guys with
here.
those injuries because those are lingering.
Yeah, they really are.
20-something
warmer
years
weather
old.
will help that a little bit, but you could see that Sully
Let's
came
go.
out of the dugout. And
Get on them, Arkansas fans. Get on them. All they doing is throwing our
just
pitcher
really
out of
went to
rhythm.
his player Colton Schwartz pretty quickly, and then all of a sudden, then when I saw the trainer come out, I thought, oh, this isn't good.
Trainers have been on the field a lot
That's
today.
a good one, Bill.
And Kircher is going to keep throwing as the Gators wait
But
for
somehow
a,
he'll be right out there
pinch
tomorrow
hitter.
starting,
Jacob
right?
Kendall.
Oh, my back feels good today. No problem. Look, he done made big man
will
mad.
inherit this 1-1 count.
He done lost all his hair sitting here watching this stuff.
Kendall's had 48 at-bats this year, so he's had quite a few. 188 average, couple of home runs. Loops one out to right and gets a base hit.
After a 20-minute break.
How about that? Been sitting for a couple of hours, and he steps in, takes a swing, gets a base hit. This is not a hard game, Troy. I mean, I don't know what you've been telling me all these times. Just grab a bat, go up there, throw it through the zone, get a base hit. Life is good.
Just like a walk in the park.
You've been telling me incorrect things now for years, how tough this game is and complicated.
And who says you have to hit the ball hard? It was 61
Breeze.
miles an hour.
Just put it in play. It'll just naturally fall. Here's Kyle Jones. 2-run single back in the second, which got the Gators
96
on the
at the
board.
chin.
Arkansas
I like
will
it.
score 3 in a row to take the lead, and then mentioned Florida had that 3-run fifth. Kircher ready in the pitch. Not close. 2-0.
Yeah,
Kircher.
you just feel like this is the inning that's going to kind of give Arkansas a chance to come back, or it's just the wheels are going to fall off the bus.
Because remember last night, Helfrich homered in the 8th inning, and then the Gators came out, pushed across 3 runs in the 9th, and they did so on 3 singles.
Remember yesterday when you two shut up? I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Ty Briscoe is in the bullpen for Arkansas. And with a 3-0 count, you might see him sooner than later. Especially with Lawson coming up after Jones.
We saw Briscoe look good in a quick inning on Tuesday. DeCramer is also throwing. 3-0 the count. And that's ball 4. So a single and a walk, and here
It's
comes
got
the
to go
Gators
somewhere.
again,
Monster can't go really no
PVH
further down.
looks
We got to go up from here.
exasperated in the dugout.
I would think.
He turned to his staff, and I'm guessing it went something like this. Do we have somebody who can
throw a strike?
Throw a strike.
Here he comes. Arkansas about to bring on their 5th pitcher of the game. Gators have a great chance here in the 8th inning to look for some.
I can't take that announcer anymore. That guy's voice is just driving me nuts. Al says, book it like a Southwest flight. All right. Thanks, everybody. We got about 6 left, Monster. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to like them when they come to the mound, but I think I got like 6 pitchers left. We're going to have position players throwing tomorrow on the mound. Since we got Ryder Helfrich playing shortstop and catcher today, tomorrow he's going to play catcher, shortstop, and he's going to pitch. It's because you left, Bobby. Marcy, absolutely. He is awesome. You can see it on his face, Monster. He's not happy. Because he's like, now I got to go to none of these damn press conferences where we couldn't pitch, couldn't hit. What am I supposed to tell people? I think this is the guy you were talking about, Nevada. If you're still with us, Ty Briscoe. Now where's that? How do you just does miss that? That's a strike. Oh no, he can't. Yeah, you're right, Bill. He'll get fined if he does. Yeah, he did. Nevada. See, that's crap, man. That's absolute crap. And I'm not one to argue balls and strikes much, but it's obvious. Oh, son of a... Sorry, my bad, guys.
That was one batter, 4 pitches. And with
Thank
the
you.
right-handed hitter,
Sorry, I told you I was
Thur
tired.
up. We're going right back to that bullpen again.
That's on me.
So
That's
Briscoe
on
got
me.
a chance.
I apologize, guys.
For the lefty, the one batter.
You didn't miss anything but
Back
a walk,
to the bullpen
I
for
promise.
the Razorbacks. And again, Florida has them loaded up. Nobody out in the 8th inning. Be right back.
No, that's all on me.
Hockey is here. The Spinoramas.
Now I'm putting commercials in there. I'm all backward. This umpires got me so angry. Yeah, see, that's why I couldn't be a coach, Bill, because I would go in there and blast them on the mic because they would make me so angry like this. If the other team beats me because we made mistakes, then I'm good with that. You know, I can live with that. I'll go and face the music. But if you're not going to call the zone straight, then I'm going to let you know about it. That's it, Sean. Yeah, my bad, man. I'm sorry, guys. I just got frustrated there for a second, and I took my eye off the prize. Yeah, he threw 3 strikes in Nevada, and he didn't call out near one of them. And then they just walked the guy, so he comes out in one batter. They gonna start pulling people out the stands in the hog pen tomorrow. Yeah, Gibbler. No, it'll be Big Tuna tomorrow, Amanda. See, and then they come right back without even giving us a warning.
15 seconds left on the pitch clock before this inning was supposed to start. DeCramer says, "I'm ready."
All right.
Now
we got
DeCramer
pitching.
says, "I'm ready too. Let's go."
Ground ball to short. Can Arkansas get 2? There's one on to first. Double play, but a run will score. So the Gators
weak throws to
add
first.
the lead. And DeCramer, he was anxious to get the 2 for 1.
Yeah, I think that's the play that Arkansas has. You can get out of this inning with bases loaded, no outs, and just give up 1 run. That is a victory. This ball is hit right on the screws. How about 107? And Arkansas had all day long to make this turn, and
almost too much time.
Yeah, you see that Rutenbar barely was able to make that catch.
Right
Bowen
down the
will
middle.
suck one to left center field. Ruiz on the run. He will not get there.
Here we go with this.
Bowen puts one in the gap. It'll chase home another Gator run. They've kicked an extra point at 7-3. And just as they did last night, Troy, finding some late inning separation.
Boy, a couple hard hit balls by the Gators. Sorowick with the double play ground ball, but did get the run scored. But that ball was
Sean,
smoked
I
by
would have
Carson
been.
Bowen.
I'd already been
Talk about
injected
somebody
today.
swinging the
I
bat
promise you
well
that.
this weekend. That's Carson Bowen.
Agreed.
Been like, hey,
One-time TCU
bench coach, take
one-throw.
over. I'm going to the office.
Blake Sear just another base hit could jump this lead up again. And Arkansas had 5 hits again.
There wouldn't be a water jug left in the dugout.
The hits have been infrequent. The strikeouts have been high, and the Gators keep tacking on. It's been Dietz, Eves, Dossett, Kircher, Briscoe, and DeCramer. And if Florida wins this game, again, just a couple of SEC series home losses since 2021. But Troy, the one thing the Hogs will
see, that's the same pitch
be in
that
as far as the scenario for tomorrow. They haven't
dude
been
in the last
time
thing just threw and he called the ball.
Pitchers in these 2 games.
Well, they've got a lot of depth.
Same
so
location.
They can definitely
actually, it may even been a little higher.
Navigate that if need be.
Lifted in the air to right center field. Stewart got a break on it. He is there waiting to make the catch, and that will end the inning. But Gators get a couple of runs to add to the lead. Arkansas down to its final 6 outs, trailing by 4 runs.
You ain't going to have to worry about that number 4 after this weekend. Oh, yeah, everything would be out on the field right now. I'd be out there ripping the bases out the ground, everything. Hell, I almost did that in my softball league, and it wasn't even for nothing. I'm very hot-tempered when it comes to sports, especially when I'm playing. They're going to rue the day that Sarge ever gets put in a nursing home and it's time to play Scrabble or checkers. They better nail the board to the table. Yeah, Sean, I can live with a bad zone if it's called both ways. Absolutely.
Fan, jam-packed hog pen today, but the Florida Gators have pushed their lead to 4. You know, Troy, you think about last Friday in the SEC as Barberi goes back to the mound. Arkansas had that 22-run game. And
that's
then
why we losing,
accurately said anytime you score
watching.
22, you're not going to score the next day. And they scored 7 total runs in the next 2 games. Well, they've had 7 runs in these 2 games.
I agree a little bit with that attitude. That's so
it's
good.
It's easier to explain
you
today.
You can't leave Dave Van Horn out
because
he has to really okay
the exactly right.
The transfer to pick up.
Barberi have just been spectacular.
Saw Helfrich turning.
Come on, Riders! You should have blasted that
backstop where the timer was going to keep Barberi from really just getting the ball and pumping strikes. Ryder is 0 for 2. He has reached base with a hit or a walk in every game this year, and that's in jeopardy. Now, he did have a sac fly in the 3rd inning, but he has been an on-base machine this season, and the Hogs need him on base here one way or another.
Yeah, that just tells you how good Florida pitching has been.
A chopper up the middle. Lawson will glove it. His flip to first will pull.
Off the bag.
Surowick off the base. That was an easy one because
I don't think
that
so,
foot
Sass, because
wasn't anywhere close.
I think it's only been
base.
The last stream
Lawson
or 2
made
he's
an
not
error
been
in the 7th to give Arkansas
I'm
a little
hoping
bit
that's
of
not
hope,
the same Josh Jones
and
too.
unable to complete this play here.
The question is, are they going to call that an error? I would almost have
Florida's
to think so.
challenging the call at first base.
So Florida's going to say the same thing. Did Ryder Helfrich hit the white base?
No,
it looks like he hit.
He's on the green.
Both bases.
Well, the foot's clearly off the base, but I think, Troy, your point's a good one. At least from that angle, we need to see if Ryder hit both the white and the green or whether he hit the white base.
I think he literally hit both bases with that stride.
If we see a game where both teams lose a base runner because they hit the wrong base, you know we will have balanced each other out in a very bizarre way.
If they call him out, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I kid.
You got enough
I
green, don't
kid.
you?
Yeah, I think so.
After replay, the call on the field of safe is upheld. Bill has one challenge left.
Listen, Ryder was the one who pointed that out last time. That'll be an error, of course, but had he then made the same mistake, that would have compounded.
I think even an error still keeps that
Nope.
reaching base. It
does
doesn't?
not.
Oh, okay.
That shouldn't be an error.
Zach Stewart is 0 for 3. But for the Hogs' cause, again, they need base runners, so they'll take it. That one's going to propel away. Barberia not allowed a hit, and the only base runner to reach against him was the error, and the error by Lawson ends up resulting in an extra base with the wild pitch.
You know the Arkansas fans are looking for something to cheer for when they're cheering for a wild pitch. It's like, oh, all right.
Yes, hope beyond hope. Hope is not a plan, but Arkansas down 4.
Gators do have somebody down the bullpen.
And again, Barberia, as we mentioned, did throw 3 innings midweek.
Oh, Stewie just
Popped up
missed
from
that.
Stewart. Schwartz shading his eyes. Oh, goodness.
Did he just
You could
drop that?
almost see it coming. I'm not sure if Lawson had the better angle with the ball kind of coming
They just
towards
dropped that?
him, but it drops.
Well, I think that's one thing that sometimes you see players do.
My oldest daughter come in and said
is-
hi
is
to me,
call
the
that
one that's
ball
having a
too
baby.
early. And you could see him just continue to just keep fading over and over and over toward that shortstop position. And it's easier when the ball's coming towards you than slicing away from you.
Oops.
Emotional damage.
You know, Arkansas hasn't had many hits, and one of those was a 61-mile-an-hour dribbler off the bat of Souza against the shift. And that will be an error, though, given to Schwartz, and I don't disagree with that, rather than a hit. But Barberi's out, Troy, and that's how his impressive outing will end.
Yeah, what a great job by Jackson Barberry, and he kind of got the bad fade of a couple errors.
I'm surprised he didn't call infield fly rule. Just to try to screw us
My
more.
life is
Hey,
fantastic.
you
now.
shut up.
All I had.
That was no warning of that commercial coming. A homer now ties it. No, we'd be 7-6, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we had a guy on first, Justin, didn't we? So that would have been a force at second. Oh, no, Hunter was on second. Yeah, okay, my bad. Yeah, you're right. Helfrich was on second from the wild pitch. Yeah, you are correct, sir. I stand corrected. Thank you. Joke in. Hey, not a problem. That's what we're here for. Bring you guys Razorback Sports. Yeah, you're right, Greg. I forgot Ryder was on second, not first. I love my chat. Well, y'all got me quick, too, boy. I mean, it was like quick. In a hurry to let Sarge know he done screwed up. Keeping me honest. I like it.
And I tell you, the thing that just kind of creeped into my mind as I'm watching all this is Barberry really started leaning on that breaking ball at the end of his outing, and I think he still had the velocity there, and Kind of a little bit
So,
of a head
Ashton,
scratch
when
away,
does the
was still
infield
away
fly
from
take
a
effect?
98, 99
First
mile an
and
hour
second?
fastball.
No hits, no walks. Couple of base runners on back-to-back errors here in this bottom of the 8th inning. Tying run still not ready to come to the plate, and Mike Anu is going to bat against a pitcher we saw last night, Joshua Reitner.
Yeah, Reitner was really good last night. Again, just
That's only in
continuing
Discord,
to
B.
bring
Hall.
Great arm after great arm out of the bullpen for the Gators.
We talk about all these strikeouts. He faced 4 batters last night. He struck out 4.
I may not be right, but I'm never wrong. Only in Discord. Micah.
The other right field.
Micah.
Wilson started back now, racing to his left.
Drop it,
and
sir.
he makes the basket catch at the last second. You could almost see that ball potentially falling, but Wilson got there. Helfrich will tag and go to third on the first out of the inning.
Boy, the wind really kind of pushed that ball away from Wilson, and
I got you.
good job for him to continue to keep tracking that baseball.
Finish the thought on
Yeah,
Reitner,
that's so
though.
you
He
can't
mentioned
just
how
automatically
sharp he
drop it
was
to get a
last
double
night
play
against
then. Yeah,
Alabama.
it makes sense.
Last weekend, a third of an inning, 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 runs.
Wow.
But I
Alabama
was
seemed
just
like they were
being
hitting everyone,
sarcastic.
though.
Yeah, it was
Because
a weekend
they
to
try to
remember
screw
for
us
the
every
Gators.
other way.
This
I figured they
trending
would
towards much more so in Fayetteville.
just call it just to mess with
Nolan
us.
Souza
Oh, there's
watches
another one.
Kick away. Arkansas has done more damage scoring runs on wild pitches than
Florida
any team in the country in the last
Is our
month.
best teammate.
That's the second
Florida
today.
pitchers.
Boy, that thing really kicked away from Bowen a long ways. Actually rolled into the Arkansas dugout.
Almost
We
got
ain't
Nate
getting a
Thompson.
400
He was
today,
standing
real
on
life.
the warning track, and Nate starts running away from this baseball.
We
and
barely
going
got
down
to
the stairs.
300.
You'll see it here.
Well, he came out to wave the runner home, and then he's like, wait a second, I got to get out of the way. That thing's coming at me.
You're right, Gail. We still got a chance to get to 400.
Souza takes one at 98 for a called strike. I mentioned yesterday that in that game against Northern Colorado, Arkansas had 5 of their 12 runs came on bases loaded walks, wild pitches, or pass balls. Well, they've scored 2 on wild pitches today. Souza lays off.
Kind of got that down to a science, don't they?
I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously, when you're handling some 98-mile-an-hour pitches with some big-time break, you might have a few that kick away, and I don't know if you reach back for a little more with runners
Yeah, I
on
think we
base
got
or whether
at
it
least
just
2, Ashton.
You almost kind of jokingly think it's an Arkansas weapon at this point. But another 98-mile-an-hour fastball by Reitner.
Everything is hard from this guy. 1 out in the inning. Souza serves one on the ground, collected by Curlin. He'll pop up, throw to first. Souza out, Stewart to third. And there's now 2 gone.
Ooh, we needed that to get through.
Well, I tell you what, Curlin's done a nice job. He really gets that glove down on that ground and doesn't let that thing scoot underneath his web.
Yeah, they've had a couple of misplays this inning, but they've also made some plays with Wilson running down that fly ball on right that started to blow away, and Curlin on that ground down. Here's Reese Robinette.
I did not know that, Saps. Thank you for that.
Run earlier today.
You
1
just
for
feel
3.
like, you just feel like Arkansas really needs to plate this run in any way possible, even a wild pitch.
Yeah, I would agree. 7-5 in the bottom of the 9th would not be a comfortable feeling, but it would sound a lot better than 7-4.
I'd like it to be 7-6 in the bottom of the 9th. How about that? Little country's going to take one over the fence.
Troy, if I would tell you that, look into your crystal ball, dust it off, and in 4 years you'd be seeing King, Barbarian, Reitner pitching in the big leagues, would you disagree with me?
No, I would shove all in. I'm selling the farm for that bet.
We're at 323 real
At
life.
least 2 out of 3 if you could parlay it, but you could see that playing out.
Oh,
in around the hands.
They hit him.
Robinette. He was caught between starting a swing and checking.
Start faking it, Robinette. We need
Bull didn't
base
hit
runners.
him. If Robinette keeps this inning going, Kahio Aloy is on deck, and he would represent the tying run. Fouled back and out of play again.
Do you think if you're Reitner,
Kircher got squeezed a
lean
little bit,
on that
Ashton.
fastball
I
because you don't want to try
I
to
don't.
spike it? The breaking ball right here.
I don't hold that
It has
against
to be
him
a
on that.
consideration.
There were some pitches
Considering
he got
two of
robbed
the wild
on.
pitches.
$11:45 real life.
That was a breaking ball at 90.
We'll be up bright and early. 11:45. Game time is at 12.
Payoff pitch. Vicious swing by Robinette. Is he okay? He kind of hobbled around. Was it his wrist or his arm? He's not right.
I think he hit it off his foot.
He hit it off his foot. Relax.
It
He's
was
got
an
a
awkward
protector down there.
swing on that pitch that had some boring action in. Hit it off the inside of his leg?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. It looked like he was tweaking his back more. Oh, come on, little country.
Lifted in the air to left.
Drop it.
This ball
Get out.
will find the seats.
Straighten one of those out. Hey, no problem, real life.
That youngster got the baseball.
I think Robinette's really taking his time getting back to the box, trying to shake off that ball that hit him in the leg.
Yeah, he's going to feel
That's good to
that
know,
for a
Saps. I
week.
appreciate you bringing that
Most
up.
time you see guys hit a foul ball, they'll trot back to home plate. He just strolled back there.
Come on, Reese.
Another payoff pitch. Ball 4, and the tying run will come to the plate in the presence of Kahia Wadoy.
Hey. My dogs are happy we got 2 runners on.
Slump. He's hit one a mile.
He's saying,
I see you
oh,
working.
woo pig suey.
Comes
Nate
Coach
Thompson's
O'Sullivan.
got a paper with that little thing, with a little stick man with a stick with the
Bullpen's quiet,
Arkansas
though, for the
batters
Gators.
poking him. Do something. Come on. Do something. That's his whole plan.
So if you're Sully right here, I think this conversation is how do we attack Kahia Wadoy? I'm thinking
With a
breaking
fastball
balls
right down the
away.
middle so he can knock it 440 feet and tie the game.
We touched on it earlier. Kahia is hit so much better against right-handed pitchers than he has lefties. And he has the power, there's no doubt, with one mighty swing to tie up this game.
Here's the thing: if you're Reitner right here, a walk isn't going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, he
you
was,
put the
Sean,
tying
he
run
was
in
just
second
celebrating.
base, but still,
You didn't
better
hear,
than
it was
giving
woo
up a
pig
home
suey
run.
was what he was saying.
Bottom of the 8th, 7-4 Gators. And that's down for a ball. Rutenbar on deck if Aloy continues
They're spoiled
to
rotten.
keep this bottom of the 8th going.
Mrs. Sarge's babies. Oh.
Aloy with a big swing and a foul ball off the catcher Bowen.
back-to-back cutters. I think that's what Aloy's going to see, a steady diet. Or if it is the fastball, it's going to be way up in the zone or up and in.
Stewart at third, Robinette at first. Is that a swing? It is. Gators have made a couple of errors this inning. They're a strike away from maintaining a 3-run lead to the 9th. Big pitch. On the way to Aloy. He fouls that one off his foot. I won't say that was a mistake, but that was a ball in the zone that Kahia took a big, mighty swing at.
I just don't think you want to miss middle end to Kahia Aloy.
Oh. That away, Captain Obvious.
Feels like when Kahia hits a homer off the scoreboard sometime soon, that's when you know he's back and locked in. The 1-2 is a big
got him
chopper.
out front.
Schwartz will jump up, has to hurry the throw to first. Surowick able to scoop it to end the inning.
Man,
That
we
was
can't catch a
nice
break.
play. Arkansas gets a run, but they strand a couple.
Cannot catch a break. That's but what I feel like right now. Because he tries to pull everything, Bobby. When they're pitching you away and you try to pull the ball, that's exactly what you do. You roll over to third base every time.
Razorbacks today.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Arkansas hadn't gone to Coyle up to this point, but
they were saving him for tomorrow.
He just has a really good ability to fill up the strike zone, has that kind of sweeping breaking ball, not overpowering. He'll throw in the upper 80s to around 90, 91 with the fastball.
Coyle last pitched against UCA on the 24th. What was unusual about that game, though, Troy, Arkansas won it 15-2. Remember, though, they were down 2-0 and looked lifeless, and 10 of those runs came late, so Parker went 3 frames in that game, which I think that was unusual, too.
Yeah, it really stretched him out a little bit, and definitely has that ability to do that, but, well, you talk about that UCA game, it just really slow start and had a quick turnaround. When you score 10 runs in an inning, that can kind of change the complexion of a ball game.
Cade Curlin is going to bat. Take strike one. Curlin scored a couple of runs today, knocked in a run. Remember, he started today 1 for 15 in the SEC this season. That's a 67 batting average, so he's putting a few numbers in some different columns here this afternoon. This was the Gators team that really struggled to score runs against South Carolina, but found a way to sweep that series.
Got him. That away, Parker coming here throwing strikes, son.
Quickly in the 9th, they were swept last weekend in Tuscaloosa, and they're trying to take this series today. As you see, Coyle just clipped that outside corner, apparently.
Well, Parker Coyle does what he
apparently
normally
now
does, is just come in there and fill up the strike zone. 3 straight pitches.
He does not waste a lot of time when it comes to working in the zone. Stanford's homer in the 5th inning put the Gators ahead. A chopper to third. Robinette.
Look at Robinette.
Pretty good at third base today.
Look at little country over there.
Played third in high school, but primarily a first baseman here.
Big country over there flashing some leather.
Big country covering a lot of ground, a lot of real estate.
Shut up. It's little country.
And that ball, he whipped that ball over to first base to Rutenbar, and I don't think Stanford was halfway down the line.
2 gone, and this is Ashton Wilson. Didn't start, but he's been in there for 3 plate appearances already. This would be his 4th.
Well, probably Monster because it's the top of the 9th.
Off his hands. He's
trying to beat traffic.
Back to the screen.
What about Parker Coyle? 6 pitches, 6 strikes. No, excuse me. He did throw 1 ball, didn't he?
Just 1.
Caught me off guard.
You got to be on immaculate inning watch when he steps in there. Although that one is lined out to left, and Wilson will get the base hit. 2-out single. Keeps the 9th inning alive for the Gators in anticipation of hoping to add some insurance. Remember, they got 2 big runs in the 8th.
You're right, Ashton.
Tell you what, if you're Parker Coyle in Arkansas, you do not want to roll this lineup over for the Gators.
You do not
Sam
want
Miller
to roll this
is going to pinch
lineup
it
over.
Fouls one back to the screen. Miller was the transfer from Columbia, last year's Ivy League Player of the Year with 16 homers. Columbia had a good team last year, and Sam Miller was right in the middle of things.
Yeah, Parker asking, where's that? I see you. A little bit of attitude.
Coyle
That's
trying
what
to
I'm
finish
talking
off
about.
this inning and send it to the bottom of the 9th inning. Fouled right back to the netting.
Helfrich, Parker's going to throw a high fastball. Just don't catch it. You got your signals
Arkansas
crossed
had
up.
the lead for about an inning and a half today, and that's the only lead they've had in this series. A chopper to third, another play for Robinette from the grass. He'll flip to first, retire Miller, and send this game to the bottom of the 9th inning.
To the bottom of the 9th we go. $70 more likes to go to get to 400. With 695 watching. Can we get there? Maybe so. Can you tell Sarge is tired? I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little out of sorts today. I might have talked a little too much during this stream. Ashton. Bro, you come up with some dandies. I said I needed help staying awake. Ashton, you're doing a fantastic job at that. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that, good sir. You're a man amongst boys. I'm trying, Sean. I'm trying, brother. 3 more outs.
Numbers are eye-popping.
Boy, they really are, and it just a testament to the Gator pitching staff has just been stellar.
Let's get at least 350. We need 2 more.
Carter Rutenbar against Reitner to begin the bottom of the 9th.
Now you're definitely probably going to see Rutenbar after that first pitch ball take till he gets a strike. It didn't take long.
It did not. Looks like Christian Turner's on deck. And that's Ruiz's spot, but a left-handed batter. Upstairs to the Razorback first baseman, 2-1.
I love your loyalty, Ashton. You are a regular.
Couple of
that's
walks,
for
a
sure.
strikeout, a run scored for the freshman. Reitner pounds 97 on the outside corner again.
Well, Jones, the center fielder's really playing shallow and in right center.
Big swing and a foul ball back. Troy, this would also be 3 straight SEC losses for the Razorbacks. If they fall, they dropped that final game in South Carolina last Sunday.
Yeah, I think so. And they've just, the bats have just been
Sorry to hear that, Sean.
shut down by this pitching staff of the Gators.
Hogs need base runners. The count has gone full to Rutenbar. Wave and a miss, one
Root,
gone.
that was a
9th
ball, bro. Of course, you can't never
27
tell with this
strikeouts
umpire, so.
in 2 games.
That's just high heat by Reitner. Probably ball 4.
Yeah, well, you can't not take it with
definitely
the
ball
umpire
4.
we got today back there.
What's interesting is that Turner hit for Ruiz in the 9th inning yesterday against Reitner and went down on strikes. He'll do so again in the 9th inning this afternoon.
Yeah, it probably was ball 4.
Bruh.
It was a 3-run fifth inning that put the Gators back in front. Cole Stanford had the 2-run homer. Turner shoots one out to left. This ball's got some carry. It takes a bounce.
This
It
boy
kicks
run.
up off
This guy
the
can
warning
run,
track.
too.
Turner's going to sprint to second. He lost his helmet, and he'll
I'm
slam on the
surprised
brakes.
he went on third.
A little bit
Boy,
of
he
life
can
with
run.
that one-out double. A ringing liner off the bat at 105
Good job,
from another
Christian.
freshman.
Boy, off the bat, you felt like that Sear might have a play on that ball, and it just continued to carry over his head. Just an absolute rocket. Short hop the fence. And
when that ball kicked away there, Troy, I thought there was a chance for 3.
Yeah, when you're down 3 runs, there's
no
no
doubt.
reason.
No doubt.
Yep, you just can't make that mistake.
Tell that to Turner. He was sprinting at a
He was-
world-class level between first and second.
The Jets were on. I think that was Bobby Wernis with a giant stop sign over there in the third base coaching
makes
box.
sense. Kojal has collected 1 bunt hit and 4 at-bats. Now you go back to that sequence where Rutenbar chased one out of the zone on the 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, that's huge because he probably, well, I don't know if he scores right there, but at least you have runners at second and third.
Nobody out, tying run at the plate.
Ooh. I think this is a really good move by Bowen, the catcher. He might have been told by the dugout to go out and have a conversation. Either way, I think.
What do you guys
just
want
to
for
slow the
supper
heartbeat down
after the game?
Reitner.
And the Gators have both a lefty and a righty throwing in their bullpen
taking
quickly. So
Chick-fil-A.
if there is a need
No, man, we had that last
to
night.
bring somebody on for a Helfrich or a Stewart or a New.
Yeah, that's Lugo Canchola. Saw him last night, the left-hander.
Man, real life, I never count them out, but
Gators again.
they
trying
making
for
it
a
hard
6-0
for me to
against
say
top
yeah.
25 teams this year. This has been a big week considering they went and took care of business against Florida State Tuesday.
Yeah, that is huge.
Kojal
There you go.
strokes one to center, but right to Jones. 2 outs, and Arkansas down to its final out in this game.
He put a little bit on that ball. Just right at him. Chicken spaghetti. I don't know what I'm having tonight.
Here's
if I even
Helfrich.
make it to supper, I
Rich
don't even
Dunn
know.
in there, scored a run in the 8th.
I might go to bed after this and not get up till
Had
tomorrow.
a sac fly in the 3rd. Checks his swing and fouls one back and out of play.
Right. Here's our shortstop, Ryder Helfrich.
Yeah, it just feels a little bit different if
Who's pitching
Rutenbar
tomorrow?
could have laid off that high fastball. At least have Arkansas have the opportunity to try
Look,
to tie
there's
the
all
game
of our
from the
pitchers
swing.
in the dugout.
Now the Razorbacks down to their final strike or out in the 9th inning. Ground ball to third. Schwartz is there. Is that a foul ball? Was it off his foot? That's the final out. Our third base umpire jumped in front of the play, but he said it was in play, and he said that Turner didn't run into the out, but the final out was recorded at first.
Yeah, I think that it was no contact by the runner, Turner at third base, and what a great pitching.
Yeah, I'm done listening to you two morons for today. Sorry about that. Don't mean to seem so mean, but all right, everybody. We appreciate all you guys. Oh, we got it back up to 754 people watching with us on YouTube, 6 over on Twitch, you loyal Twitch soldiers over there. We made it to 349 likes. Somebody hit that like button so we can go out at least at 350. One person. Come on. Just do it. Only need one. There it is. Thank you. Whoever did it, thank you. So, all right. Tomorrow, we will go live at 11:45 to see if the Razorbacks can salvage one game out of this series. Hopefully, something happens tonight while they're sleeping and they learn how to hit. But I do appreciate each and every one of you that's watched with us today. I appreciate all you members that are up on the screen now. And I appreciate you guys putting up with me today. And I apologize for being a little out of sorts. Well, I'll be back to regular form tomorrow. And hopefully we got a better stream. And if not, we will move on to the next game because what choice do we got? So, Nevada, we'll see you later, buddy. Sean, always a pleasure. Stillering, I got in late and forgot. Oh, that's all right, Stillering. You're good, bro. We appreciate it. Hey, not a problem. Still noon. So, all right, everybody. You are dismissed for the evening. Have a great, wonderful rest of your Saturday evening. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you tomorrow.